Okay, just have silence, Candy, really quick. Let me see, making sure this is working. Okay, that is weird. Okay, I'm still on the phone with you. Okay, I may not hear you. Can you guys hear me now? This is really a pain. I have not ran into this problem before. Of course, this is... I'm using different software. Oh, this is horrible. This is late now. An hour late almost. And, okay, I have 5 people watching. I just want to make sure I can hear you. All right, so literally, this whole time, literally it said excellent connection in the YouTube studio, thinking I was live. And I literally called Candy saying that I was not live this entire time. So I don't know what in the heck happened unless I was live earlier. I don't know. But when I ended the stream, it said I could not save the stream. So I don't think I was ever live. Oh, I don't like YouTube sometimes. Or the streaming software that I'm using. All right, so... Can everybody hear me just fine? Candy, how's the connection?
Good.
All right, okay. I'm gonna have to do this whole discussion all over again, but now that the new NHC update came out, that will work. All right. All right, Candy, I'm gonna have to go. Okay. All right, so this time it works. It works. Huh? It works, finally, I guess. I guess it does. Yes, I have 40 people watching me right now. So evidently there was an issue with my stream. I'm so sorry, folks. I am sorry. It's YouTube versus OBS Studio. I blame OBS Studio for that. But now, we're going to try this again. Yeah, we're going to try this again. This time, we got new information. All right, so let's take a look at what our desperate, cute-looking satellite imagery is showing. Why is it cute? Because it's very helpful at showing us what the system is doing. And yeah, that's a nasty inner core structure. We're going to literally reverse things, and we're going straight to the NHC discussion. Kind of literally where this stream ended. Well, fake stream, we can call it. So the 11 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center does keep this at a Category 4 hurricane in the next few days. Well, in the few days, it gets to a Category 4 hurricane. We're talking about winds up to 130 miles an hour. But I don't know if I'm going to push it that far. I think I'm going to stay a little low, and here's why. And I'll show you all of the important data why that actually is. So the storm, first of all, has become much better organized. Looking on satellite imagery with a strengthening central convection and dense overcast with banding futures. Upper level anticyclonic flow also appears to be increasing over the system. Flight level winds, tail Doppler radar can confirm 55 knot winds over Ian's circulation. However, this is probably a little bit of an understatement. Why is it an understatement? Well, let's take a look at this imagery, and one could even argue that it's even a tropical storm at all. Very compact, very intense and vigorous. Let's take a look at with what we have here. And we can see how the inner core just blows up. Look at this. This thing just goes, just blows up. You can even see some of the deeper convection wrapping around where this circulation actually is. You can even see some overshooting hot towers even going around that. So the low-level center might be right in here, and we're starting to see these banding futures really increase around this circulation, which is helping to develop an inner core. We might even have hints of an eye wall structure even forming on this as well. If we get that forming, we have a big problem, and we can see how this has really just blown up like a balloon in the last 4 or 5 hours. I mean, I was at a party today, and right when we left the party, my friend's birthday, I mean, this was barely anything. And by the time I walked through the door at like 5:30 in the evening, this thing is a whole different ball game. It's a whole different child that we're dealing with here. I mean, this thing is very explosive. And you can see just boom, like, look at this. You can even see how quick the convection is blowing up now. It's blowing up more quicker. It's moving more quicker, which means this thing has definitely intensified. It would not be surprising, to be quite honest, if this is indeed a much more substantial system than what was recorded on the recon aircraft. All right, I want to make sure you all are following me. Can you all hear me? Is the stream actually running? I want to make sure. Excellent connection, so that's good. But I want to make sure this is not a fake live stream. And in other words, I want to make sure I'm actually live so I don't have to repeat myself for the 3rd time. So, okay, we're on the right track. We're on the right track. Good. That will probably be the last time I ask you all if I'm live, because everyone's telling me thumbs up, so that's good. Thumbs up, 7 up. Why don't you hit that like button for me right now if the stream is doing really well, and also subscribe too. Just a friendly reminder. So, now that we talked about how deep the convection is, let's talk about where this is moving. Where is it moving? Excuse me. Is it moving towards more centralist Cuba? I don't think so. Is it moving towards western Cuba? It is moving towards western Cuba, and we can see this here. It's moving towards the northwest at about 12 miles an hour. During the next 48 hours, tropical cyclone is expected to turn northward as it moves along the western periphery of the side of the mid-level ridge. Later in the forecast period, the broad mid-tropospheric trough over the eastern United States will absolutely influence this and help it to turn more northeasterly. But once that trough moves out, the system is likely to slow down, folks. You'll see that here on the models. But I'm not going to take this away without looking at the hurricane models first via our new synopsis here on Radar Omega. Let's bring that up. So if we go and take a look at Radar Omega, which is really cool here, let's go to models, let's go to tropical, let's go to the HMON, since it's more of our likely scenario that's going to set up here. Let's go right over to our composite reflectivity. And we can see the system here at 992 millibars. But let's go actually and take a look here at Grand Cayman, and let's put this forward into motion. And so we can see that the system here is going to be approaching on Grand Cayman with some moderate to heavy rain bands. So if you're in Abadan town, this is by about 7 or 8 in the morning, east or West Bay. You're talking about some of these rain bands, and look at that core on your screen. This is in the next 15 or so hours. This is the 18Z run, so we don't have the 0Z run out yet. By the way, what's up, Caden? Welcome to the stream, brother. But this is going to really intensify. Look at the bands on this. This thing is going to be howling. It's going to be serious. Santa Fe there on the Island of Youth, really talking about some bands that are going to be moving into the area. All right, and let's kind of move this forward here. I wish there would be outlines on these countries so we could better see where it exactly is. But you can see here right over Cuba, and it's going to be intense. Look at this. Sandino, Valley San Juan, if you are in the Pinar del Rio area, look at this. Very intense eyewall structure here. 945 millibars on this. So this is a very intense output on the run, and then this gets to 942 millibars, 933 perhaps, but you can see it also gets more asymmetrical, which is due to the shear. Might even see a little cute eyewall replacement cycle taking place, and then this tries to fall apart. But look at these rain bands coming on shore of Florida. You're talking about Sarasota. You're talking about Clearwater here, getting some moderate to heavy rainfall that could be in the forecast here in 66 hours. And then that moves on shore towards the north, towards Gainesville, Cedar Key in Florida, Apalachicola with some moderate to heavy rainfall that is anticipated in 84 hours out. And that kind of really falls apart. I mean, wow, what a difference this is going to make. But again, that's going to assume, depending on how strong Ian can actually get. The stronger Ian can get, the more likely it might be a little bit more resilient against the dry air or shear that might be affecting it later on in its life. All right. The one model I do want to show you all that is not a hurricane model, and you will probably guess it correctly, is one of our convection allowing models, is the NAM. Now, I don't highly recommend using the NAM for many reasons, because one, it's not a hurricane specific model, and two, it is not very accurate. It's kind of the worst case scenario, but it draws a pretty good picture at what might end up happening if this could actually load. Is it loading? It did load. Good. So we can see how the system does develop here later on in the forecast period. Very intense storm right here. Might not look like a big deal at all, but if we take a look at wind or mean sea level pressure, I mean, one could even argue that this thing would be down at even 860 millibars. I don't even want to show it to you all because you'll all freak out to death. Yeah, it's not even going to show up here because it's that type of model that doesn't want to show it very well. I don't even think this will give us surface winds at all. I don't think it will. No, it's not. I'm very surprised they don't have that option here. I thought they would, which is good because you do not want to see the latest NAM model by any means at all. That thing is scary. And so instead, we're going to go back to satellite and we're going to look back at with what is going on over here in the Caribbean, of course. And this is what we have. Very explosive storm right now. That is Ian Bobian. Yeah, that's how you kind of rhyme it. So Ian Bobian blowing up, and wow, look at that! Look at that thing, really just intensifying pretty quickly. We do have recon aircraft out there, but I am not waiting until like midnight when they finally get the center. I will probably put something on Twitter. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, it is Weather United 1 or at Weather United 1. You can follow me there, and you can get the latest information too if I'm not making a video or live streaming. All right, so that's a look at the recon. Here's a look at the infrared. Let's go right over to our intensity estimates, and these have gone up. Now, the final T numbers have not, but the raw T numbers have gone up, which is, again, a net weight of everything. So this is probably a lot stronger, much stronger than what is even being indicated here. It's more than 39 knots, but that's giving you a rough estimate of exactly what the satellite intensity is kind of extrapolating. All right, so everything has updated here, so I just want to make sure I've got the latest info. Okay, yes, we do. Oh yeah, the storm surge forecast has gone up. Wait until you see this. So right now, winds are at 65 miles an hour, moving to the northwest at 13 as of the 11 o'clock advisory. I always want to say Ian, but it's actually Ian. It's the way you see it, you gotta have kind of say it the way it looks. So Ian is expected to produce heavy rainfall and instances of flash flooding and possible mudslides in areas of higher terrain, particularly over Jamaica and Cuba. Considerable flooding impacts are expected or possible this week in the west central Florida. Additional flash flooding and urban flooding, and perhaps on rivers and small streams and rivers and the Florida Peninsula and parts of the southeastern cannot be ruled out later this week. Life-threatening storm surge and hurricane force winds. Yeah, that's pretty significant when they say the word life-threatening. You do not want to hear that from the NHC by any means. So where is that at? Where are we looking? Yeah, right here. Life-threatening. Let me highlight that in red because that is very significant. Actually in pink. Life-threatening storm surge and hurricane force winds are expected in portions of the western Cuba beginning late Monday, and Ian is expected to be at or major hurricane intensity when it is near the western Cuba. and efforts to protect your life and property need to be rushed to completion. Ian is expected to be a major hurricane in the eastern Gulf of Mexico during the middle of the week, but uncertainty in the track and intensity forecast remains higher than usual. Regardless of Ian's exact track and intensity, there is a risk of dangerous storm surge, hurricane force winds, and very heavy rainfall along the west coast of Florida and the Florida Panhandle by the middle of the week. And residents in Florida should ensure they have their hurricane plan in place. Follow any advice given by your local officials and closely monitor the updates to the forecast from the NHC. So let's take a look here at our most arrival likely time of tropical storm force winds, and anything in purple or in kind of this violet color does indicate and demarcate 100% chance of tropical storm force winds. So if you are in the purple area, you will see tropical storm force winds without a doubt. So you need to make sure you have anything prepared, including the Tampa Bay, Florida coast, as well as even Sarasota, even in near the Tallahassee area where you do have a 60% chance of tropical storm force winds. These chances might go up or down, plus or minus 10 to 20%, but we have a pretty good idea. If you have the highest chances of tropical storm force winds, you're probably going to see substantial impacts of rain, wind, storm surge, high surf, and flooding. All right, so keep in mind, tropical storm force winds get into western Cuba by Monday night and then into the western coast of Florida like Tampa by Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning and Wednesday night for the rest of Florida. So taking a look at our flash flood threat here, we have a slight risk for flash flooding in Tampa Bay, Miami, Key West, Florida, Lake Okeechobee, Delray Beach, as well as Sarasota, Florida, St. Pete as well in Florida under that slight risk, and a marginal risk for flash flooding in the Orlando, Florida, as well as Ocala under that marginal risk for flash flooding. Storm surge is going to be a big threat with this. We're talking about now a 4 to 7 foot range of storm surge on Bonita Beach, Eaglewood Beach, near Sarasota, which is in this area. So yes, there is going to be some substantial chances here of big time storm surge. We're also talking about 2 to 4 feet of storm surge potentially in the Card Sound Bridge, as well as the East Cape Stable in the southern tip of Florida, including the Key West at 2 to 4 feet. Dry Tortugas right there at about 2 to 4 feet. Okay, this storm surge could go up or it can go excuse me. This storm surge can go up or it can go down based on the latest exact track and intensity of hurricane or tropical storm Ian. Okay, so if this becomes, say, a high-end Category 4, the storm surge could be much worse. If it's a Category 3, the storm surge could be a little lesser. But either way, there's going to be storm surge in this area, and it could be significant. Okay, I want to make that clear. I'm not doing this to scare anyone. I'm not doing this just to cause fear and panic. This is on the NHC. Go to nationalhurricanecenter.gov, okay, to view the products in regards to this. You can find them. You can easily find them. Just, again, let's go back. Here are all the products. By the way, I wanted to show you all the rainfall totals here because, my goodness, we're talking about 4 to 6 inches of rainfall in some portions of Florida. Like Key West could get 6 inches of rain. I'm actually quite surprised. The rain totals here are not any higher than they could be because Ian is going to remain offshore for the time being, at least on the latest forecast, until it gets over here near Tallahassee. But again, this could be generous given the fact that we are still 5 days away from this making landfall in portions of Florida. All right, so that's a look at the products. Now, is there any storm surge watches or warnings? Let's take a look at that. And we do have a storm surge watch already issued for Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Naples, Florida. If you're in Key West, storm surge watches have been issued for that area. So again, you gotta take this seriously. You could run from the run from the water, but you cannot hide from the wind. I think that's how you say it. All right, so you got to just, again, listen to me because I am extrapolating the data that I've collected on this system and I'm relaying that information out to you. I'm basically speaking for Tropical Storm Ian, almost at Ethan, because this, again, is an imminent threat. Okay, this is pretty concerning, and we still do not have any latest models out on this. Very quickly, I did show you all on Radar Omega on how strong this could actually get. So, again, extrapolating this, assuming that it's a little stronger at maybe 980 millibars, this could be a little stronger. It could still get down to 937 millibars. That's what the HMON still indicates. Yeah, that's 937, folks, right there. Yeah, 937. That's pretty strong. On the last run, it was a little weaker. So the fact it's a little stronger really worries me. Okay, let's look at the run before that. 954, 937. So this is about as strong, if not strongest, run of all time. The winds are a little weaker, though. So we're only seeing 113 knot winds. This had 120 knot winds, which would be probably about a Category 4. It could still be a Category 4 here. It just depends on how quick can this thing blow up. Okay, going forward, that is Western Cuba by early Tuesday morning, September the 27th. Then by the 28th, by Wednesday, still intensifying here, we could be looking at a 933 millibar hurricane potentially on this. Very powerful. Still a high ceiling on this. And then the wind field on this could also expand a little bit and also remain very intense. 120 to 130 knots. That is really up there. That is asking almost for a high-end Category 4 hurricane. Then, of course, rapidly weakening as it does so when it runs into the the Florida Bend area. All right, so on the HWRF model, I don't know. I don't think I should. I will show you this really quickly, but it is an outlier. 956 millibar hurricane in about 36 hours. It's going to be stronger than this. There's no doubt. 90 knots of wind here. That's not even a major hurricane. It might still become a major hurricane, but barely on the HWRF model by the time it skirts Florida and then moves on shore. Look at how slow this runs, by the way. This is really crawling. This is not moving very fast. Probably, let's see here. Let me just kind of extrapolate this. So it is here, okay, at 06Z Thursday. Yeah, that is not moving very much. That is very slow. That's going to really take its own sweet time getting onto the Big Bend of Florida. Now, hopefully it weakens as it stalls, because if it weakens as it stalls, then the impacts could be a lot lesser than otherwise, right? Hopefully it does not end up being like Harvey or Michael. We don't want to have that end up happening, which would be very bad news. The GFS model, I want to show you all this really quickly again, because this is also showing us the possibility of outcomes thanks to our recon data. I do want to show you all that before we give a quick update on the satellite intensity estimates. So 12Z Monday, that's in 18 hours, 991. We already know it's stronger than that. It's at 989, I believe, right? That's what the NHC says. I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, it's already 989. So it's already stronger than the GFS model. Okay, and so we could assume that this is going to be below 950 millibars perhaps when it hits Western Cuba, and then getting down to 945 millibars still on the GFS. Now notice how this does move somewhat quickly, but take note here. Okay, so from about 0Z Thursday, that's Wednesday afternoon, I have gonna actually put a red dot on this. So I'm going to mark this with a red dot because look at how this just crawls up the coast. In a day, yeah, that's Thursday. That's Thursday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon. Look how slow that moves. That's barely moving up the coast. So if this ends up being a lot stronger or even just a little further east here of where it currently is at on the GFS, this could be very devastating. This could be absolutely catastrophic, perhaps over or very close to Tampa, Florida, if the trends continue to go further east, because it could be stronger than what the model here shows. Remember, you gotta analyze and predict that it might be that could end up being stronger. And then by Saturday, I mean, it takes 2 days. I mean, this is very concerning. Like right here, and then let's go back another day. Look at this. Just in that 2-day time frame, this is very slow. That is not moving at all. That's crawling up the coast because the steering currents get really weak. And then that falls apart by the time it hits the southeastern seaboard, which is good news, but it's going to bring a lot of rain and remnant moisture with it. The European model is also a little more concerning. 36 hours out, it hits western Cuba and then gets into the eastern Gulf of Mexico by Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning as a strengthening hurricane. But again, it is going to crawl up the coast. The European model really, I mean, again, very slow moving, very lazy. As we go, and this only goes out to Thursday morning, and I mean it has only moved probably about 5 or 10, maybe 15 miles just in that short distance from, say, Wednesday afternoon into Thursday morning. That is really, really slow, and that's a big no-no. If this stalls any more than what this shows, I mean, we would be looking at not only a substantial storm surge or flooding, but we would be looking at some serious wind damage with this. All right, so taking a look here at the latest update on the track guidance on Tropical Storm Ian. This will be a hurricane before long. We have very tight clustering guidance over western Cuba, then eventually impacting the Big Bend of Florida, the western portion of Tampa, Florida perhaps, and again, the models are still uncertain for the track. Please understand that. Some of the models still want this on shore sooner than later, saying about 3 days, while if it moves further west, it can take up to 5 days to move on shore. Might end up being a little weaker if it's further west than if it's further east. Because remember, it's going to be in the favorable conditions up until about here. And so if this is able to curve and do something like this and kind of do it like that, hypothetically, this could end up being a much stronger system the further south this actually ends up being, say, further north. So there's a lot of track guidance uncertainties here and spread of over about 150 miles. So keep that in mind. The Ensemble Forecast from the Gfs model, I think we got new model data on this cycle. So let me see if we were able to get that. No, we have not gotten any new data from the GEFS, which is the Global Ensemble Forecast. And so the modeling still is very divergent here in about 3 to 4 days. Yeah, I mean, we still have some members that take this over the central Gulf of Mexico, while some take it into Florida. So yeah, I could even draw some glasses here. There's some 2 eyes. There's the mouth. We should put the mouth here or a sad, angry mouth. Because, I mean, I'm angry. Everyone's angry about this. Because we still don't know exactly where this is going to hit. So I could understand why the ensembles here are angry. Which is unfortunate. I'm sorry, buddy. That you're angry. Hopefully you're happy when there's tight clustering, because we have a better confidence forecast. The only thing that we have a little bit better confidence over is the intensity forecast. This is really concerning. Okay, so some of the models still want this at a low to mid grade category 4. Yeah, that is this area in purple from Tropical Tidbits. The box that I have, category 4 intensity there, okay, and then the category 3 intensity is right here. And so you can see most of the models keep this at category 3 strength, with myself keeping it at that. So my intensity forecast has been raised, or is about the same like the previous one, and I do call this to become about 115 to 120 mile an hour Category 3 hurricane. It is going to become a major hurricane, that is for sure, but how major remains to be seen. If it's a Category 3 with 115 mile an hour winds, or if it's a Category 4 with 130 mile an hour winds, remains to be seen. But if you hear people out there on YouTube that, oh, this might become a 145 or 150 mile an hour system, really be careful, okay? What I've learned in the past, recently in the tropics, is the chances of a Category 5 are always a million times lower than that of a Category 1. Is there going to be a Category 1 hurricane? Is this going to be a hurricane? 100% yes. This will be a hurricane in some degree. Is it going to be a major hurricane? There is a 95% chance it will be a major hurricane. Is it going to be a Category 4 hurricane? There is probably about a 30 to 40% chance of that occurring. Is it going to be a Category 5 hurricane? There's a 1 to 5% chance that's going to occur. The background state now, if this was going to spend more time over favorable conditions, like if the shear was never going to pick up in the Gulf of Mexico, then maybe this would have a higher ceiling. But due to the fact that we got the shear from the west, and I'll show you here on the models, you go to the 200 millibar wind, you can see this westerly wind right here. I mean, this right here is going to dismantle a storm because the system is going in this direction while you have, oops, let me make my arrow a little bit better. I forgot I have an arrow program. So right here, the system's moving this way while the shear vectors are doing this. So you can see there is going to be northwesterly shear, or actually more westerly, because the system's going to be moving relatively slow in response to this flow. So fortunately, this belt of strong subtropical jet-like winds here will put a lid on this as this gets closer to Florida, and the system therefore really falls apart because it gets injected. Now, if this was a little slower and underneath the subtropical ridge a little bit more, say if it was a little bit down here, then maybe it would be a lot stronger because it's underneath this anticyclonic high that is in place. It is on a little bit on the westward lobe of the subtropical ridge. So there's going to be a little bit of shear that does increase on this as this, again, gets into the eastern Gulf, like near Florida, with that westerly flow aloft. We could even see this if we just kind of look. We are getting new model data here in just a second. So let's actually do a sounding here, and let's plot this down. Very cool from Tropical Tidbits, and we can see with what the shear is going to look like here on the modeling. 42 knot shear, that is very strong because, again, you have the storm, you have the low-level wind field trying to push the system this way, but you have the upper-level wind pattern that's trying to push the system that way. Remember, the vortex is like this. And so when you get the shear, you get two different directions, the vortex gets very tilted. So you're talking about something like this instead of something like this, which means the vortex weakens because of the shear. A lot of that latent heat release, that heat energy, is not exhausted evenly. So you're not getting convergence evenly around the system. Hence is why we get these elliptical systems, because all of the heat is getting distributed on one side of the system. All right. Let's see with what this model, or what the intensity. Oh, I wanted to show you the recon aircraft. Not the current, not Air Force Mission 301, which is Caden Youngquist. By the way, we're going to name these recon missions. So the Air Force 301 mission, I hope these are permanent on numbers, because if they are, we can name this Caden Youngquist. Just like, Noaa names their aircraft Miss Piggy. What is the other one? Gonzo, and there's Kermit. I think it's Kermit. So we would have Caden Youngquist, a C-130 aircraft. out there. So Caden Youngquist is out on his way out there, and we'll see what he finds when they get into the storm. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the upper upper level drop zone mission. All right, we want to look at this because this is very important. Okay, if you've wondered why the GFS has become miraculously more accurate in recent model cycles, you can thank the Gonzo. Gonzo is over here, and they did their mission. So 1 to 35. So if you can think of this, they flew their mission. Let me bring a better highlighter out. So this is their path that they flew, right like this. So they kind of did this. They kind of went around like this, and they kind of zigzagged over the Western Caribbean. And like so. And so when these planes fly at 50,000 feet, they do drop zones, and that's the numbers that you're seeing. So we can see drop zone number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 through 35. And so why is this important, you may ask? Well, this data, the relative humidity, the shear, the wind, the sea surface temperatures, it gets fed into the global computer models. What you see, this comes from data that is extrapolated in numeric codes. That's why it's called a numerical model. All it has to do is with numbers. And so the recon goes out there and does this, and numbers from what the data shows gives the model more important data on how it's going to act versus hyperact, in other words, and hype things up. So I'm just going to show you a few soundings here because my job is to provide you all with great information here on Weather United. Yep, that's what we talk about here. Weather, 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 hence his name, Weather United. So the first drop zone near Florida showed relative humidity of about 3 to 14%, but the critical atmosphere, this is what I call it, okay? You can write this down in your notes. 500 millibars and lower, okay? So I've highlighted that area. Let me make myself smaller so this whole area is not clipped out at all. So below 500 millibars is the essential part of the atmosphere. Now this up here is essential, but not as essential as you might think. However, the more moisture you get up here, like 400 millibar, this is very deep, very juicy, very energetic air, and that's a lot of moisture. So we're not seeing these thunderstorms collapse on themselves. When we take a look at another sounding, we'll do drop zone number 4 from earlier. Again, this was a few hours ago, so this is probably a little older than what is being said here. But look at the relative humidity up here. Very moist, very rich moisture here, all the way up to 250 millibars, between 85% and 95% on that drop zone. So very important here that we look at this, okay? A little bit of shear still because the steering flow, well, that's not in the center, by the way. So the flow is like this. So we still do have a little bit of shear that is occurring here out of the easterly direction. Another drop zone we will pick up here is, what number do you guys want me to pick? Since actually people are watching me. We actually have 200 people watching me. That's awesome. So for 200 people that are watching me, what number of drop zone do you want me to pick? And because you guys, we got to interact. We got to interact, you know. This is a little bit of an educational stream versus no hype versus real educational type information. Not only helpful to you, but also helpful to me and to everyone. All right, so drop zone 13, someone says. Drop zone number 16. Someone said 16, 67. Where there's no 67, it's only 1 through 35, as you can see here. So we'll do drop zone number 16. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see what that shows. 100% humidity. Oh my goodness, that is very, very moist. Wow, that's almost complete saturation. All the way from the surface, all the way up to 250 millibars. That is as moist as you could ever get. And I bet you that is drops on number 16. So that is... Oh yeah, that's why this system might be blowing up right here. Yeah, that is very moist. That is very moist indeed. Okay, what just happened? Oh my gosh, tropical tidbits. Give me a break. Come on, stop freezing on me. So we got 100% humidity on that. So that is very moist. And you can see by our SKU-T profile, very, very humid, all the way up to about 300 millibars. You need moisture for these hurricanes, right? So that's another way to extrapolate. Now, again, where this darker gray color is on the infrared satellite imagery off to the northwest over Cuba indicates that there's a lot of dry air. So if we pull up a few more soundings here, we'll do drops on number 24. Drops on. You got to argue. You can't argue with that. That's really dry. And simple way to put it, so for some people that are curious, what is dry for a hurricane? Anything below about 60% humidity, even 50% perhaps, is relatively too dry for a hurricane or a tropical storm. So given the fact that the deep layer here overall is pretty dry, above 700 millibars, that's not healthy. And so imagining if you had shear, unfortunately, we have no shear out of this. In fact, the flow is out of the northeasterly direction in the deep layer. So a lot of this dry air is actually being shoved away from the system and not being forced in. So you can think about this, okay? A little bit more education on how this works. So if you get dry air, you get the westerly shear, okay? Wait. So we're going to use this. So this is dry air. This is your hurricane that does this, right? Okay, I'm spinning it correctly. So you can think that as the hurricane is moving in, you can see that the dry air is being forced in because of that shear, because the system wants to go north, but the flow wants to come in west, forcing in that dry air. But since we have a flow like this, you know, there's not much shear at all, and the system is able to get better organized. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about here as far as our drops on data. Now, drops on number 32. Number 32, look how dry this is. 400 millibars and above, we got relative humidity about 7 to 8% and lower perhaps. So very dry air, very big spread. I mean, wow. Really dry air here and very dry air up there also. But again, your flow is out of the easterly direction, so there is no, there is unfortunately not going to be any dry air, or yeah, unfortunately that is, of seeing any dry air being forced in, because you need that dry air to tear these storms apart, and that's not going to happen with this. So drops on number 35, that's going to be our last one to view. We can see also again drier air, but again the lower half of the atmosphere from 400 millibars, that is, the air is fairly moist and unstable. All right, so we got relative humidities greater than 80% and still your flow out of the easterly direction here. This is actually a very good, well-dropped zond, updating very frequently, so we could get a really good picture of exactly what the atmosphere is doing. All right, so that's a look at the drop zone data, and that's the data that is, again, fed into these models, and that's going to be extrapolated. That's being fed into the GFS right now. So if we go and look back at the GFS model, let's take a look at this. See if this thing has intensified. I bet you it did because of what we see currently. Yep, 992. It's a little further to the west. I'm actually quite surprised. Just a hair to the west at 992. This is same intensity. I'm actually quite surprised. Not any stronger on this. And then this does get a little stronger at 943 millibars. That's actually a little stronger actually 2 millibars stronger, and it is further to the west again. Oh, can the models ever agree? They're just switching. There is no consistency at 66 hours out. So that's why they're probably going to do another upper level surveillance mission. 2 of them that are scheduled for tomorrow. Okay? So that will be able to better feed these models. It's basically like you're feeding the GFS food with new data, right? You're helping the models out. 944 on this, it is 6 millibars stronger. So if we go back here and look, 950 on that run at 18Z, we have the 0Z September 26 at 944. Fortunately, it is further west, so the impacts are not any worse than the 18Z run, but still in all, you're getting moderate to heavy rainfall, as you can see here with all the red, with all the orange and yellow colors, with most of the impacts well offshore of the coast of Florida. All right, so again, this data, so maybe the ridge is a little stronger. I don't know why the GFS went further west. Maybe the aircraft, the Gonzo, the Gulfstream G4 aircraft might have found that the ridge over here might be a little stronger, maybe a little stronger up here. So, again, we just don't know why the GFS. But the only thing I can think of is maybe the ridge is a little stronger, or maybe it's a little further west to begin with. And so it might just go further west altogether. That's the only thing I can think of that may have allowed the GFS to go further west, which is a very big problem, because now if this misses Cuba, which it could still miss Cuba, then that's even a worser concern, because if it misses Cuba, this could intensify without any interruption of land interaction with Cuba itself. So if it goes over Cuba, the inner core might get disrupted substantially due to surface-induced friction, and therefore the system weakens due to land interaction. But if the system does this and it misses just by a little bit, this has more time to intensify. And I mean another 60 hours to do that before it feels the impacts of that shear. So the latest ADT has gone up again. We're up to 41 knots, but again, take this with a grain of salt, because we have a new recon mission out there right now on its way to give us a better evolution of how low the pressure is. It's a low-level drop zone mission. It's a low-level recon, so we'll get accurate air pressure and wind speed data. This is satellite intensity based on the tropical cyclone intensity algorithm-based thing that's going on. The raw T numbers are at 3.6, and we're at a final of 2.8. So that has gone up, and we can see our graph here indicating that the satellite intensity estimates have been going up gradually, not rapidly, which may be an understatement. And that's why this is not enough data to support keeping this thing at a 65-mile-an-hour system. So that new data from the hurricane hunters will provide us a good picture, exactly the health and state of the system. So we can see how the system has evolved over time, and my goodness, this thing is definitely very intense. Very big blowing up convection here. It looks like the deep convection might have waned a little bit, though. The cloud tops are warming up just a hair, but we saw that earlier where we saw this big blow up of convection where it kind of stopped, and then we saw another piece of this blow up, and that's what we're left up with right now. As it stands right now, this is very intense. We have a very intense curved band up here to the north, surrounded by what appears to be a CDO. Now, at the same time, we do have a little bit of a dry air moat going on. So we have a little bit of a break in this rain band between the CDO and this curved band to the north. So that's what we're seeing. We'll see if that even limits at least some of the intensification due to some dry air intrusions that might be getting barbated down to the surface by some overturning, or convective overturning, that is. Because when air sinks, it warms and dries too, adiabatically. So we'll see if that actually contributes to a little bit of a destructive mess to this. But right now, as it stands, it is very intense right now. And it would not be surprising to have Recon find near or at hurricane force flight level winds when they get out there. And they should be out there in the next, hopefully in the next 30 minutes. But look at this. I mean, this thing just blows up. I mean, this is really wild right now. Very, very wild. So very explosive right now. That's what we're seeing. And we'll see if this actually gets more intense. There is there's West Cayman Island there, West Bay, Bottlin Town there, getting some intense heavy rainfall, strong winds on that. And we'll see if this intensifies even more. But wow, it looks much better organized than what it did earlier. And if we go back to our satellite, I mean, that to that. Wow, what a difference. What a difference. And it's D-max going on right now. So diurnal max period is getting underway, and we'll see if this really even gets more impressive and strong before Recon actually responds to the system. See if we got new Recon, where they're at. I might stay live for a little longer if anyone wants to see. Yeah, they're almost there, so we're probably going to wait. Do you guys want to see latest Recon data? And then I'll probably end this, because we are 51 minutes in, so we'll probably end this probably at about 9:30. So in about 30 minutes, we'll see where Recon is, because I am very curious of what they found. They did see some dry air at 500 millibars, though, well to the north of the system. All right, so we're going to wait for Recon data. In the meantime, we're just going to keep an eye on this live in real time on Tropical Storm Ian. We could argue enough if it's even a tropical storm anymore. Wouldn't surprise me if it is a hurricane. It only takes 10 miles an hour stronger for this to become a hurricane. So, yeah, this is satellite intensity estimates. This is the latest product from the NHC. It's showing at 65 miles an hour. Pressure down to 989 millibars. And you know what? You know why that's a big deal? Because if we go back right here, 06Z, we're at 992 millibars. So the hurricane, or tropical storm, is about 3 millibars deeper than what the GFS indicates. So did we get Ian? Why haven't the models come out for Ian yet? The 18Z run. This needs to render. We need to get new model data. We still don't have the 0Z output yet, because I'm very curious of how strong this is going to be. But yeah, if you all are new, welcome to Weather United. It's an honor, it's a blessing that you all are here participating with, who can guess, with no hype. I am really, I understand where you guys are coming from when I hype things up. I've learned my hard lesson. So a new channel means no hype at all. That's why my intensity forecast, I don't agree with the category 4 yet. I really don't. I think 115 to 120 is probably a safe bet. Maybe 125, but I mean, I don't know. We gotta wait and see how this all evolves, because it should have been more intense today than what it is right now. And again, I'm being generous because, I mean, this is a little uncertain. I mean, it's in the models. I mean, this is really something else. I mean, you still do got some models that have this at a Cat 2, Cat 3 at the peak in about 60 hours, while you have some that still have this at a Category 4. Now, just because I said Category 4 is I'm looking at these models up here, but my intensity forecast again is on the low end, and again 115, 120 is probably in the ballpark right now for the time being. People could disagree with me all they want. They can disagree with me. Yes, this is going to be a major hurricane in some degree, right? That's my forecast, a major hurricane. But will it be a Cat 4 major hurricane? We don't know. We just don't. What's up, Wholesome Jeff? How are you doing? What's up, Life Beer and the whole truth? How are you? What's up, Girl Meets Trinidad? How are you? What's up, Login Dog? What's up, Caden? Welcome. It's a blessing and honor that you're here, folks. Do you guys have any questions in regards to the recon data that I looked over for you all? Do you guys have any questions that you might need? I have all these tabs open, so throw questions my way, and I'll be happy to answer them. Just not too many too quick, because I can't get to every question. What's up, James Edwards? How are you? I cannot wait until fall comes, folks. I am excited. Also, I am excited to do a live stream recon mission maybe tomorrow for you all. Yes, recon mission on Flight Simulator. We are taking the TBM 930 into perhaps Hurricane Ian. Probably tomorrow during the day sometime. I'm not sure what time, though. What will Cape Coral surge be? Caden, let's see. Or Cape Coral. Cape Coral, either way. Yeah, Cape Coral is probably a better way to say it. So Cape Coral could see storm surge on the order of probably 4 to 7 feet, maybe 2 to 4 feet at the most. Right along this is where we're going to see the highest storm surge, but primarily in the orange, up to maybe 7 feet perhaps. That is above your heads, a lot of people's heads, unless you're a tall basketball player and you're like 7.5 feet tall, you might peek your head out of the water while standing up. Can you talk about the current position? Yes. So the current position right now, my best estimate, let's go back here. So what I'm going to look at here is where the deepest convection, where that inner core might be trying to form. So the current positioning estimate would probably be somewhere right in here. That's probably where the estimate of the location is. It's not impacting anywhere in Jamaica or the Cayman Island for right now. Well, you're getting indirect impacts such as heavy rain bands and thunderstorms, but the worst of it is still offshore. And that's what we have based on satellite data. All right. Do you think it's going to hit Alabama? I don't know. Now, because again, there's a lot of uncertainty in the forecast here. Does the GFS, one of the members, show it hitting Alabama? Absolutely. Yes, there is some members on the GEFS Ensemble Forecast that do have the model. Some of the members do have a hurricane hitting your area, but it would be weakening either way because you have shear that's going to increase. Let's see. Look at IRSat. It's not dry air. It is a rain band, I think. It's a Cat 1 right now. There's a moat, and a moat is a section of dry air. Okay, that does happen sometimes, and I'll show you what a moat is here in just a second. Yeah, it's not moving very fast. Hello from Tampa News said storm surge here will be 8 to 15 feet. In Tampa, 8 to 15 feet storm surge. What's the news source on that? Because it is not on the NHC. The NHC is not picking it up. However, let me go to, if there's an interactive map. Is there an interactive map? I don't think there is. No, there isn't. Maybe there is an interactive map here. Oh no, this is not in it. This is interactive, but it's not with the storm surge in feet. I mean, there is no storm surge watches or warnings there, so I don't know why 8 to 13 feet or 8 to 15 feet would be the forecast. Interesting. What about Western North Carolina? So Western North Carolina. So by the time it hits Western North Carolina, it's probably going to be a post-remnant low. It's not going to be a hurricane or a tropical storm. You're going to get some rain, some gusty winds with it, maybe, but that's the worst of the conditions. I don't see this being a substantial threat to that area. And so when we do and look at the GFS, this thing really tears apart. I mean, you're going to get some moderate to heavy rain perhaps, but the system really falls apart quickly as soon as this gets into that sheared environment. Now, if the system is able to be stronger, again, it's all about how strong Ian can get. And if it's able to minuscule that shear away, and then this is able to kind of blow the shear away from the system and keep it pretty intense up until landfall. But weakening is anticipated well into South Carolina or North Carolina. Can you check Sierra Surge Map? Sierra Surge Map. So this is what I'm looking at. This is a surge map that I'm going to look at because it's from the National Hurricane Center. So take a good look at this if you haven't seen this already. All right. What about the current Euro model? The current Euro model has also trended west. We'll look at the current Euro model here in just a second. But again, here's the latest shear, 4 to 7 feet on Bonita Beach, Eaglewood Beach in Florida. And then down in Key West, the western tip of Florida, you have a 2 to 4 foot range of storm surge. Again, this could go up based on Ian's current intensity and its forecast. If this is stronger, then the storm surge could be higher if this is closer to the coast. Okay, let's look at the current Euro model. So the latest Euro is the 18Z. I'm not going to provide the 0Z because that's an old run. However, I'm going to compare the two. And there has been a westward jog or a westward trend a little bit in today's forecast. So we can see if I can go a little further. So you can see the 06Z run from last night showed it at 977, making landfall in Tampa, Florida. Then the next run had it a little further offshore. And look, it is a little further with the trends. So even the European is trending further west. I want to see the Canadian model. What does that show? Let's see if that trended further west. That's slower, but it's not further west. But it's also, is that more intense? Oh, that might be more intense. Yeah, that looks a bit more stronger. But look it's assuming that it's at 994. I don't know why the Canadian model's not aggressive on this. It's not seen it very strong. Let's see the NavGem. Let's see what that model shows. Yeah, that's a 955. Oh my, that is very strong. In the Gulf of Mexico, this hits that Big Bendish, Florida, Pensacola, Panama City Beach, Florida, on the NavGem model. And that weakens as it moves over Tennessee. Wow, look at that rain. Pretty intense rainfall potential over Tennessee, over the Carolinas, Georgia, and Alabama. So that is intense. That is quite the strength on the NavGem. And also, it is not indicating that it's even down to 1,000 millibars. So it is also, well, of course it's stronger now, right? That's according to the NHC, right? 989 millibars. It's almost like if you say 1989 without the 1. The latest icon model has us hitting western Cuba. Let's see if this is stronger or weaker. It is stronger by a lot, by almost 10 millibars. And so this is stronger at 944, very close to Florida. In fact, if we go onto the coast of Florida, yeah, 943 millibars. That is 7 to 8 millibars stronger. I mean, look at that. And it's a little further west, but not by much. But it is right there. Very close to the coast. I mean, that's concerning. And then this actually crosses over. Very wild situation here. Very wild. And then it hits the Carolinas. That's probably an outlier model. But boy, if it does cross over like that, that would be very devastating. That would be 2 landfalls. Maybe 3. No, that would be 3. 1, 2, and 3. So we'll see if that even comes true, but wow, that's an outlier. That's probably one of the more stronger runs than the GFS, which still has this actually 942 it bottoms it out at. So the GFS is probably the strongest out of anything for right now, but it is also far enough west for the time being. But winds here are over 100 knots. Look at that. Very strong winds. Now, again, this is experimental, everybody. I do want to show you literally one model that I don't like to show you all because, again, I don't want to get yelled at. I don't want to get told that, hey, David's using the NAM. I do not trust the NAM. What you're about to see, the NAM is a liar, okay? I'll tell you that right now on the intensity. Because of what you're about to see is not going to be correct. All right, this is 987 millibar system. A 987 millibar. If I can get any closer, I can't. All right, that is an outlier model. I can tell you that right now. It is such an outlier forecast. Okay, that is not going to happen. So if you look at the NAM model and see that, oh my gosh, this is going to hit 200 miles an hour, I don't know what you're even thinking because it's not going to get that strong. The NAM overdoes things because it's not a hurricane model. See how things work out? So please keep that in mind. Because you see this does not mean it's going to be that strong. I mean, if that got down at 867, everybody would be like, "Oh my gosh, we're getting close to typhoon tip or super hurricane Patricia," because that is ridiculous. That is, I don't know. I'm speechless because that's not going to even happen. Not going to even happen. So don't worry about it. Ignore the NAM in future forecasts because that model is going to always blow it up like it's nothing else. Oh, we got a new model run. A new run that came out. Also calling for a Category 4 hurricane. That's the black line that we just got. So, you saw the update. If you rewind it, you can see that. So how's everybody enjoying their Sunday? I hope you all like the new channel. Do you guys like the new name? I hope you all do because I'm not changing it. One of the reasons why I started this new channel, and everybody has left comments that say, "Where have you been, David?" I'm terribly sorry about that. I decided, you know what? I want to migrate a little earlier onto Weather United and everything like that. And, you know, weather, yeah, I'm a weather channel. Right? So Weather United, United States. I will do U.S. forecasts every day with winter storms and stuff. And so, yeah. So it's Weather United. That covers everything, just like on my original channel. But you guys are awesome. I do appreciate the support and everything. Because I do enjoy doing what I do. I love looking at this data and extrapolating it to you all. The plane is inching closer to its destination, and everybody wants me to stream the recon mission. I will do that specially for you all tonight, since you all are awesome. It's probably going to be another 45 minutes, maybe another hour, when the recon mission gets in there. But we will get new data very shortly here. They're not that far away. They're down like right over here. So they have a little bit of a ways to go, but we're about to get some new food onto the dinner plate, and we're going to be able to see how much stronger this actually has gotten. Yep, we got more deep convection firing up already. See these augmented cloud cover right here? You could even see a horseshoe shape. It looks like to be a little horseshoe shape, so we might already be getting a pretty good, definitely an inner core going. But here's the augmented kind of cloud field here. So we have more deeper convection with cloud tops still in the mid 75 degree range. This thing has definitely blown up. Wow, explosively. I want to ask you all this question. I know for a fact this is probably rapidly intensifying, but what are your guys' thoughts? I want to hear your guys' opinions. What do you all think? Do you think this is rapidly intensifying? I want to hear your guys' thoughts, because that's part of the interaction. I'm glad you like the new name. Good night, Diana. Thank you for tuning in. Would something pull it towards Louisiana? No, I don't think so at this time. So everyone is saying yes, it is definitely rapidly intensifying. We will find out from the newest recon data. I cannot wait. It's prime time in the Weather Center on my YouTube channel, Weather United. If you haven't already, if you're new, it's a blessing that you're here supporting the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and like the stream if you're enjoying this awesome content. And also share this and get the word out, because I'm doing another live stream tomorrow. Not on this, but me flying into the hurricane, or Tropical Storm Ethan, but which will be a major hurricane tomorrow. Yes. Who likes a recon mission in person on a live stream? Who likes to see live real-time recon data mission? Because that's what I'm providing tomorrow. I'm excited. I am looking forward to it. I'm not sure what time I'm going to start it, but I'm going to end up doing it anyways. What's up, Grey Gone? What's up, Jules? How are you? Oh, we got a new meso floater. Update imagery. Yep, the deep convection right here is beginning to get a little deeper. I wonder how often this actually updates. Oh, this updates every minute. I wonder how accurate it actually is if it's with latest tropical tidbits. Oh, wow, this is actually a little earlier. This is really cool. I love this. So, let's take a look. I wish they gave us more options. With satellite data. However, I like the fact that I can make this 3D. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Can I make this 3D? Why can I make this 3D? Oh, here we go. Yeah, look at this. We could actually make this 3D. How cool is that? Pretty cool to see that all in 3D. Oh, wow, this is really, oh my, this is neat. I absolutely love this. Why is it, oh, there we go. Oh, wow, yeah, look at this. This is really cool. You can see it. You can zoom in. Oh, wow, this is really neat, actually. You can see the system. That is pretty dang stinking cool, if you ask me, on the 3D. Yeah, this thing is very substantial. I actually want to see how strong, how cold these cloud tops are. I believe I can scope this. Okay, that's the latest frame. So let's bring this up. Oh, you can get cloud tops. I love that. You can't get cloud tops. Temperatures. You can't actually scope it. I wish you can, but I'm telling you, these cloud tops are really cold. This updates every minute. This is a meso floater imagery. Oh, this is beautiful. You can see right in here where we do have the deep convection. Ooh, why am I using yellow? This just got better. Love you, Radar Omega. So there is the deep convection burst that I did mention. So there is, looks like there's an inner core trying to form somewhere right in here where we have a eye wall that might be trying to form on this side. This is what we might be seeing. So we'll wait for more consistent satellite data to come in to prove that. This just updated again. I wonder if this, I want to watch it update in real time without me moving the map. That would be cool. But how's everybody doing? How are you enjoying the detail on this imagery while we're waiting for recon data? I'm thinking the winds are at least 70, maybe 75 miles an hour. Probably a hurricane by now. Okay, this should have updated. Probably update here in just a second. Yeah, this is real time. This is real time. Thank you so much, Caden. Thank you so much, Hot Creamy Fart. I do appreciate it. Cayman Island. Yeah, the Cayman Island is right here. Yeah, yeah, that's Grand Cayman, Georgetown. So yeah, you're seeing the thunderstorms, the rain, the wind probably increasing in that area. Okay, we got a new, oh yeah, look at this burst of deep convection right here. This is starting to blow up a little bit more. This is starting to take off. So another hot tower going off on this storm right now. And let me bring up the last, oops. Okay, this did load. Okay, good. Yep, there it is. Another big explosion. A little bit of one right here. We'll see if this is intense. I cannot wait for the recon data. I'm very excited for that. Because, boy, you can definitely tell that this thing is really intense. I actually might use this at the beginning of each of my videos for visible satellite. I could actually zoom in on this. That would be really cool. More detail, perhaps. You're saying it's 100-mile-an-hour winds. Whoa, that's a little too high, Callby. Or Kobe. Okay, looks like that moat might be disintegrating a little bit. That moat may not be having much of an impact. Looks to be more blobbier and circular with a little bit of a swirly motion to these clouds. So thank you so much, Aiden. Yeah, I'm glad you really like it so much. And this is definitely stronger though. And we'll wait and see if it does pick up more steam. We're going to have another burst here probably really soon. Really soon, I bet. We're going to have another burst. We do have a very big burst over here to the northwest, or to the north of this system. That's a very intense band. And let me see if this has actually gone up, the intensity. Not really. Not really yet. 41 knots still. 41 knots. I'm really surprised. But of course it's stronger than that. It's... Good timing on the Hurricane Hunter inbound. Oh, of course, yeah. Let's get an update on that. Yep, they're getting closer. Actually, we can see this on Flight Radar 24, I believe. And then we're going to get Google Earth involved. Yep, there's the TL-71 mission. There they are. So, gosh, how far are they from the system? I hope they're not that far. If, Caden, if you can do me a favor, how far is a teal mission away from the center, do you think? Or what we call Mr. Caden. Just like you would call, like, Miss Piggy, we're going to call TL-71 Mr. Caden. Because that is what we're... Because I need to know how far they are, because that will give me an estimate on when they should be in the center. I'm going to see here on their mission today. TL-71, right? Is that what it is? TL-71. Is out there. So they should be in the system by about 10:30. That another hour? Oh wait, no, hold on. Never mind. No, they should be in there in 30 minutes. Station time between 05Z to 8:30 Zulu. Yeah. So that's when they should be in the center, in about 30 minutes. Based on the recon plan of day. Wow, that is intense. Man, living, that is intense. This convection, especially over here, is really strong. Yeah, 30 more minutes, I would say, before they get inside the system. I cannot wait to get the data and to let you all know this. The first real live update on the tropics on this YouTube channel. So, yeah, we're watching this. We're watching live data from, we're waiting for, you know what? I wonder if there's a recon, there's a button on here that I could view it, but I don't think it works. No, it doesn't work, because if it worked, we would see it on the map, so I don't know why that's not enabled when I click the button to on. This is pretty cool looking. You know what it looks like, everybody? I want you all to guess. What does this look like to you? It doesn't relate to the tropics, but it relates to severe weather. What does this remind you all of? Because it reminds me of something. Yeah, I'm going to do a morning update on my channel. Hopefully that will be out by about 7 or 8 in the morning, my time. Yes, it looks like a tornado signature. It does look like that. Like a debris ball. It actually does. You got your debris right here. You got your debris here. And you got like the rear flanking downdraft that's trying to wrap all the way around it. That's what it looks like. Does it looks like a seahorse almost. I don't know if it looks like a monkey. I don't think it looks like a monkey. And the inflow notch, it does, yeah. But yeah, deep convection on this still continuing. Still continuing. See if I can bring up lightning on this. Okay, good, I can. Oh, it only works on one layer? That's lovely. That is lovely. It only works on one layer. We don't have a lot of lightning. We do have some lightning activity in here. Very hard to take note that. We'll have to really watch this. See what the plane finds. See how I'm noticing, or how you guys notice how I'm not just going to assume that it's a category 1? Because I want to make sure I'm clear on that. Here's a water vapor imagery. That looks pretty interesting. Yeah, it did look like a skull. But yeah, this system, and the thing that I do like about tropical systems is I like how they change their organization. So now it looks something like this, but maybe in like about 5 or 6 hours, it may look like something completely different. It's like a cycle. It will show this, then it will show this, then it will show this, then it will show that, and it's like a stage. It's like a step. In order to be successful, you have to go through this cycle, this sequence. So that's what it's trying to do. It's going through a sequence, so it intensifies. So it's doing this, which means it's intensifying quickly, and maybe it'll show something else. But wow, look at that deep convection to the north near Grand Cayman. Very explosive. Okay, we got 24 minutes before the first touches of the recon. I am excited. New data. Oh, they might be there a little sooner than I thought. They're getting really close. But you know what's so cool? I will be one of those recon missions tomorrow. I am going to be flying in Flight Simulator. And yes, I have the whole 9 yards set up. I have like the whole panel. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You will have to wait and see. A lot of very cool flight info. I will have a panel of live satellite data and everything. Would like to find a die-cast model of the Hurricane Hunter plane. Yeah, this is a Hurricane Hunter plane right here. This is the plane that they're flying. This is the image right here. You can see it. That's the Air Force mission. You're very welcome, Kobe. Of course. So that's what they're flying. And that's where they're at right now. The Teal 71. Now on Tropical Tidbits, it's a little bit behind with the data, but that's to be expected. On Dennis, I do not miss the P3 Orions. I feel like that data, I mean, I've noticed the Air Force mission has more accurate wind data, and the way they fly the mission is much more uniform. They do it like this. And this is going to be my thumbnail tomorrow, where, let me put this on white screen. So the screen's going to go dark. Or wait, maybe that's not a good idea. So the flight does this. They go like this, and out, and like that. That's your classic alpha pattern. So again, like that. That's the recon. That's the a full-fledged mission. I call it a hardship mission, or a hard mission in a way, because they're like putting a lot of effort, and it's like a 6 fly through fix. You just learned something new. Yeah, you did. So keep that in mind. This is a low. This is a weak. What do they call it? A weak low-end mission, or a low-end mission, not a high-end mission, because they're only going to do it for about 3 hours. A 7-hour mission is full-fledged. It's a full alpha pattern. It's a full-on mission. Guess what's rendering, everybody? Who can guess what's rendering right now? Guess what's rendering? And I am nervous about it. I am really nervous. I don't even want to see the models. Nope. The H-Wharf, our friend, is Ren. What? Can you all explain this? Why the H-Wharf has the center over Jamaica? Your center's over here. H-Wharf. But no, it's over. What? Doesn't make sense. It's H-Wharf model days, I guess. That's crazy. But then it refixes. It fixes itself. It's down 988. Is this weaker? Oh, it is stronger. Wow, it is a lot stronger and further south. Further south. That could be a big problem. So it's stronger. Could it be 988 millibars, folks? Look at what the model is showing. 06Z, 11 p.m. Yeah, I don't know what the H-Wharf is doing. Probably being drunk a little bit. Let's go to the H-Mon. All right. I'm going to close my eyes. I don't want to be weird about this, but I want to know, is the H-Mon stronger, folks? Is the 0Z model stronger? I'm going to look at chat, actually, because I am literally nervous. I don't even want to see the models. I'm nervous because I don't want to see it super strong. Is it stronger? Is the 0Z stronger than the 18Z? Oh, shoot. Big time stronger, someone said. It is very much stronger. Oh, my. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. 986 millibars. 986. Oh, wow. Is this further south? It's not further south. It's a little faster. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it is. Just a hair faster. It is 991. It's 5 millibars stronger. It has hurricane force winds. Look at that. Look at that. 85 knots. See. Yeah, this is stronger. Oh, yeah. Little further north. That's good news. Little further north. Well, bad news because of Grand Cayman. But if it's further north, maybe it hits land and falls apart, maybe. Honestly, I don't want this to hit land. I do not. But if it hits land, it will tear the storm apart a little bit more. So if it's further north, let's see how that relates to how this is going to play out. This is what I do, everyone, when I'm not making a video. I'm just staring at these models all day. I live on my computer during hurricane season for you all. 80 millibars stronger, so 2 of the models have it stronger this time. Okay, this is... Okay. It's weird, it's further south there. It's further east here. We'll see how this impacts. I don't get it. How is it... How did it shift a little further east? Doesn't look like it can. The center's over here, not over there. Weird. Man, this is really confusing me. Model might think that, excuse me, the model might think it's the center's over here, but in reality it might be over here. I don't know. I like looking at models and disagreeing with them. That's why we need recon and aircraft in there right now. Let's go, recon. They are so close. They are so close. Another 10 or so minutes they should be in the storm. Fortunately, the system has lesser, deeper convection, but still cloud tops of -70. That's still really cold. Eye is forming. That's not the eye. That might, or no, that's not the eye. No. That's not. I do want to see if there is new... If there's a new microwave pass on this. This is very intensive. Oh, there was a new pass. New pass. Did it get the center? Did it get the center? Less than 6 hours old. Okay, that's not helpful. Okay, that's old. That's almost more than 6 hours old. So we do not have any new data on the microwave pass. So we don't know what the system is looking like inside. Thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate it, bud. I do appreciate it. So it's very hard to say if there is any... The inner core is still in there. I'm sure it is. We'll find out from recon in a little bit if there is a inner core structure inside the storm. Oh, come on, plane. You gotta get faster. Come on, get... You're flying at 317 knots. You should be almost there. What was that I just used? Oh, that was microwave imagery. That is on the Navy government website. All right. There's no eye yet. I do agree. There's no eye yet. There's not. You're not going to have an eye if it's only a tropical storm yet. Okay, this system is a lot weaker on the H wharf. I can't believe it. It's a lot weaker. Yeah, 974 millibars, but it still has it clipping. But of course, that will be tomorrow afternoon when it gets to possible Cuba. It is further north. I have to disagree with the H-Wharf. Let me see what the H-Mon is showing you all. H-Mon has not that far yet. 976 millibars. It is deepening it pretty substantially. That's a 976 right there. We'll wait and see with what that means right before it hits Cuba. So we'll close that and close that. System is not looking any more deeper convection over its center, but we still have explosiveness with the deep convection right there. That banding feature is very intense. Yeah, the latest model has it stronger. Yeah, that is for certain. Yeah, the latest HMON model is definitely stronger on it. Oh yeah, this is look at this, 957 millibars. But it's weaker. It is weaker on this run. It's not 953 now. It's 957. Winds are about as strong, so this would be a Category 3 hurricane by tomorrow early afternoon. So that's what it's showing here. Possibly a Category 3 with 100-knot winds in about 20 hours or so. Can it be a Category 5? No, again, we're waiting for the newest model data to come out to see if there has been a trend upward. This is going to get right over the western tip of Cuba, though. So there's going to be some implications of exactly how strong this is going to get. The transit over Cuba shouldn't take too long, though. Brandy Evans, you predict a high in Category 4 or a Category 5. I don't know why you all think it's going to be almost a Category 5. I mean, that is really too high. That is way too high. I don't believe that. I'm not saying you may be right. Anyone can be wrong or right here. But what I'm saying is predicting a high in 4 or a low in 5 is not the best idea. Not the best idea. So I'd just be a little careful, because it's on this particular run on the H-Wharf is only indicating that it's going to be a 64 mile an hour or 64 knot system. But we'll see. We'll see what the latest recon shows. If it's a hurricane already, then this might be a distant memory, these models. Because this is from the 0Z output, before the thing or as it was just intensifying. Do you think it will stall? Possibly. I'm seriously thinking landfall in Florida at a Category 3. More than likely, depending on what part of Florida. What part of Florida do you see this making landfall? Vision Op 8. It's going to be a Cat 5 with the wind shear. It's not going to be a... Oh, misread that. It's not going to be a Cat 5 with the wind shear. Yeah. No, it's not. It is not. The shear is going to kill it. It is 4 millibars weaker. 4 millibars weaker. And the winds, though, however, the winds are up to 107 knots. So the system is slightly stronger. And, let's see, slightly further to the west. Just a hair to the west. Just a hair. But still the bullish, still the more intense runs than it was, say, a day ago. I'm just comparing all runs here. Yeah, this is probably going to clip Cuba, it looks like. That's where it's going to probably head. High 3, low 4, landfall over. So, what do you mean by SRQ? Sorry, I haven't heard of SRQ. It's probably an acronym. Just south of Tampa, you're saying? Category 3 is probably pushing it. Maybe a mid or high grade 2. Oh, Sarasota. Okay. Sarasota Landfall. It's a possibility. It's near Tampa-ish. It wouldn't surprise me. But it's likely going to be north of Tampa. That's where most of the guidance is aiming this at. So I think a Sarasota landfall is less likely now, unless the models do change around. But I don't see that change right now. Most of the models are kind of on the same, or maybe a little bit further to the west. Just a hair. Just a hair by about 5 or 10 miles. And again, 5 or 10 miles makes a difference. Okay, recon aircraft data. All right, here it goes. Here comes the mission, folks. Extrapolated air pressure is being measured. But we do not have any wind data. That is not fun. Don't tell me we're not going to have wind data on this mission. Let me go to Google Earth. Go a little more intensive on this. Okay, there's our wind data. Oh, I love you, Google Earth. I love you so much. Actually, that's not the latest. Or is that the latest? That's... Oh, no, that's not the latest. Oh, that is the latest. Okay, that might be it. So, Recon has already found 25-mile-an-hour winds so far. Flight level winds, they're flying at... right now 10,000 feet, so they're already down where they need to be. Extrapolated pressure is important. Oh yeah, this is the latest. Okay, we do got wind barbs. That is important. Okay, we're up to 43 knots now. 43 knots on the advanced Dover technique. Oh, we got a new explosion of deep convection. New hot tower. New hot tower blowing up right now. Right over here, new hot tower. We'll see where this goes. That could intersect the airplane, which could give us some contaminated wind data. New hot tower. Oh yeah, I know. Google Earth is awesome. I love it. 3D buildings, I mean, to go a little off topic, I think 3D buildings, yeah. You can see 3D buildings very well here. That's why I like Google Earth. Very good. It's the ultimate. Okay, let's see what our remarks say. Let's see what they are saying about this. They're seeing cumuliform. Turbulence is none. So 24-mile-an-hour winds from SFMR, surface frequency, microwave radiometer winds. So that's their remark right now. The binocular that we like. All right, this just updated. Yep. Oh, we got a new explosion here too. Another one. We have another one right here near the center. Again, this is real-time IR satellite imagery. Real-time, real life. Thank you so much, Kyle. I'm glad you like the channel. If you do, consider subscribing. We do live streams when there's significant weather events. Today was a little special because I was gone and away from home, and I wanted to do my evening, afternoon update for you all. So that's why I'm live streaming this, because I was not home until literally this evening. But there it is. There is a little bit of a punch of deep convection. A little bit of a nub, we call it. How's everybody doing? I hope you all are enjoying the stream. For the 300 people that are watching, welcome. It's an honor that you're here. God bless you all for being here tonight. Me covering this for y'all. Live in real time. Real live data. As I see it, as you all are seeing it. Might be delayed by like 2 or 3 seconds, but who cares? 2 or 3 seconds. 1, 2. You got the data. But we have a new hot tower right here. New hot tower. Okay, did this update? No, it didn't. Oh, there it is. It did update. That is a very intense hot tower right there. You can see it very easily. What's up, Elevated Tours by Main Raves? Thank you. Now, congratulations. What areas do I cover? I do. So the areas that I do cover, let me zoom this out. So the areas that I do cover is the tropics during tropical season. So I cover this area right over here during the Atlantic hurricane season. Do I rarely cover this area in the Eastern Pacific? I did a couple of videos, well, I didn't do it on this channel, but my previous channel, but I'm looking into doing coverage on the tropics over here. Now, if there's a major hurricane that crosses this area, like Bonnie did, then I do live coverage on it or make videos on it if necessary. It all depends on the demand and everything, right? So this is going to be impacting U.S. citizens. So I'm going to be, of course, live streaming on this right when it makes landfall or really close to when it does. Maybe about 10 to 12 hours before it makes landfall. So you'll get the latest data live as I do it. I did Laura. I streamed other major hurricanes like Michael. I did Michael. I did Irma, Maria. I did Dorian. Wait, I did Dorian, I believe. Yeah. So I do a lot of live coverage, but also I do cover the United States. So if you are watching from California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, if you're living all back here, I do cover the U.S. I haven't started it on this channel yet since I literally opened this channel to the public because the tropics have just been haywire, been very busy over the last week and a half in the tropics, keeping an eye on everything. So, yeah, that's why you may notice that everything that you see here is on the tropics, but don't worry, I've got the U.S. Now, as far as monthly forecasts or over your seasonal forecasts and stuff, I'm looking into doing that next year. I don't think I'm going to have time for it this year because, again, the tropics and stuff and everything. So, yeah, this is really deep right now. This is very explosive. So a new patch of deep convection has started. Really deep. So, yeah, this system is very, very active right now. Yeah, there it is. There it is right there. All right, new recon data came out. Let's see. Okay, we got new recon data out. So far, they have found winds up to about 30 knots. 30 knot winds. Yep, there they are. There's the new mission. Are you all excited to find out what the recon is going to find? Let me know in chat. Newest drop zone dropped in. Showed very moist atmosphere from 700 millibars. Oh, I know. Nauru really cleared out the eye very quickly. Speaking of Nauru, let's go and really quickly, I want see if Nauru. Okay, yeah, Nauru's not very well defined. As defined. So, here's a good question. What looks more impressive on satellite here on the Tropical Tidbits list of satellite images? Typhoon Nauru right now or Tropical Storm Ian? Let me know. Typhoon Nauru or Tropical Storm Ian? I want to see what your thoughts are. And don't be biased. Be honest. Be honest. Ian. Everyone says Ian. I think Ian looks more organized. It does. Nauru looks better. Tropical Storm Ian looks... it's a mix. It's a fight between these two. But I'll tell you, I think Ian's going to win the battle. I think Ian's going to win the battle. Because Ian is going to really get the gas pumping. Yeah, this model, the H-Warf, what in the heck is the H-Warf doing with this? Why is it weaker? It's trending weaker. Every model run, it is going weaker. I disagree with that. I really do. It's not even showing a major hurricane, by the way. So probably a little outlier we're starting to think on that. Let's see what the HMON shows. You guys... Besides the HMON, while we're waiting for more recon data, I want you guys to let me know if the HMON is stronger. I don't want to look at it. I know I'm a weather guy, I'm a weather geek, and I could, but I don't know. I have bad vibes. So let me know if it's stronger. I'm going to look at chat, okay? Is it stronger? Let me know. Is it stronger? I'm switching the last two frames. While I'm looking at chat here. Thank you for subscribing, Kyle. Someone's strong means stronger? Strong doesn't make sense. No one's responding. It's stronger. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness, it's stronger. Yep, 943 millibars. 943. That's lower and it's stronger. 110 knots. Still shy of a Category 4 hurricane at this point. It is definitely 47, 46, 45, 44, 43. That's 4 millibars stronger. Man, it's like a video game at this point for me. It's a millibar weaker. Millibar weaker on this. Winds are stronger, though, at 118 knots. That's a Category 4 right there. You're witnessing a Category 4 hurricane. That's a Category 4. 118 knots. I'll even show you proof. Right there. 118 knot wind. That's about 130, 135 miles an hour. Because you're looking at knots, right? So you have to convert knots into miles per hour. Is it to the left? No, the H-Mon is a little slower, actually. Just a hair slower. It's just a hair slower. Which means what? More time over the warm waters. That extra time means it could get a little more stronger than what it is. Before Cuba, it could be a Category 4. Based on the H-Mon. If you just look at the H-Mon, you can believe it as a Category 4. But when you look at the H-Wharf, it's a Category 2 hurricane. Category 2. But it's a Category 4 on the H-Mon. I don't know which one's hyping this up. I really don't. I don't. It's really, and that's the thing. This is 30 hours out. 30 hours out, and there is no confidence. We're going from a Category 2 or a Category 4 in the 30-hour time frame. Oh my gosh, this is stronger. Oh, wow. 934 millibars. Not as strong as the 12Z run, thank gosh. It is not 925 millibars. Or 927, or 919. That one was scary. 919 millibars on the H-Mon. But it is 934. And that is still a Category 4 hurricane. Probably about 130, 135. On this particular run, does that mean my intensity forecast is up? No, it's not. I'm going to have to wait with what Recon finds, with what these two models indicate, with what their latest forecast is, and then I'll make my decision. Okay? That's just how we roll here. I'm not going a little on the high end yet, because there's still the uncertainty among these intensity models. But it is stronger. That's important. Yeah, 118 knots equals 135. Yeah, that's a Category 4. It's 123.7 on the latest frame. Again, hour 51, we're at 123.7 knots. Which, again, is 140-ish miles an hour. Corina, I'm not looking at the NAM 3 kilometer. I hope you realize that is not going to pan out. That's probably why some of you say it's going to be a Cat 5, because you're looking at the NAM 3 kilometer model. And I'll tell you right now, that is not a hurricane specified certified model. I mean, if you guys really think it's going to get down to 867 millibars, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I don't think it's going to... I mean, we only have seen it 2 times. It's intensifying. Uh-oh, someone got the new recon data. It hasn't come out on my end yet. All right, we got new. Oh, that's cool. Okay, it did update. Oh, yep, we got more deep convection right here. Look at this, folks. Yep, here we go. We got another burst of deep convection. One right here and one right here. This is probably where the center might be. Right in here somewhere is where the center could be. So if it's there, and this is going to hit the tip of Cuba. Still some adjustments need to be made. But it doesn't look like it's going to miss Cuba, unfortunately. It's going to hit that area. It's going to be bad. Based on our latest models. Stronger. H-Wharf is stronger. But not as strong as a 12Z run. Not as strong. 948 millibars. I think the H-Wharf, something's not right with it because it is underdoing the entire thing. It doesn't even show, it does show a major hurricane though. We'll see which one wins out the battle. Oh, H-Mon, load. Load for us. There is Florida, by the way. There's Tampa Bay. Wait, is that? Yeah, that should be. There's Tampa Bay. Sarasota's down here. So, this is likely to miss this portion of Florida, it looks like. It is moving parallel. You might get tropical storm force winds, but this is going to go like just off the coast. Yeah, a category 3 is what I'm going with to Vision No 8. Yeah. Come on, load. Give me new model data, please. Oh, yeah, winds. Okay, this is bad. This is going to be a pretty intense flight, first pass through the center. You could already see they're picking up winds of 50 knots of SFMR winds. Surface frequency microwave radiometer winds already at 50 knots. Flight level winds a little lower than that. So look at this. Look at this other mission, folks, from earlier today. Look at how much stronger the winds are from this mission literally about 5 hours ago. Yeah, 5 hour ago mission. Look how much weaker the winds were versus now. Look at this. Much stronger winds. Huge increase in the wind speed. Pressure has not dropped very much. So we'll see with what the recon mission finds. They're right in here right now. So that is so deep though. That is very deep. Elevator tours by Rain Maves. It's not midnight here. It's 10:17. So we're waiting for new data. There's a lot of pressure fluctuations going on in it. Huge pressure fluctuations. You can even see it right here. Huge pressure drop. Gonna really watch this though. On the latest. What? 991? Don't tell me it's 991. Where are you getting this from? David S., where are you getting the data from? Wow, if it's still at 991, then it has not intensified at all, which seems probably unrealistic because of the deep convection that we're seeing that has been going on in the system. Okay, minimum gusts. Minimum. Where are you getting this? Okay. Oh yeah, tropical, the current storm thing. Okay. Why is it 991? As of the 0Z though. So that's not the latest information. That's 0Z UTC. It's 1019. It's already almost 11, or it's almost 06Z. That's almost 6 hours old, David S. The NHC has 989. Remember that. NHC has 989. I don't know, David S. I don't know why they have not updated it. Maybe that portion of the website is out or something. Maybe there's an issue. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're cusping category 5 intensity. Oh wow, yes. 132 knots. It still does not overturn my decision, though. That still does not overturn my decision. I'm not calling that. That's really asking. That is asking for a Category 5. But it's... I mean, for one thing, the pressure does not support a Category 5. Keep that in mind, folks. We have 931.5. That does not support a Category 5. That supports, like, maybe... low or mid grade. That probably supports a 145 mile an hour system. A category 5 would need pressure down to at least 920 millibars or lower, maybe 915 even. This does not support a category 5. So if you see, oh, it's 152 or 153, that's not a I mean, no. Wow, this is going to get very close to Tampa, Florida. Wait, or is that Sarasota? I think that's Sarasota. Oh, no, that's Tampa, Florida. Wow. That's coming really close to Tampa, Florida. What's up, Jay? How are you? The pressure seems probably legitimate, but the wind field, I mean, right down here to the south does not seem legitimate. I mean, you're talking almost a Category 5. No, this is the HMON. This is a 0Z run, Adam Patterson. It depends on what model you use. The H-Wharf has a different scenario. Again, I'm looking at different models. The H-Wharf has a weaker scenario at 948 millibars, which also gets us to a Category 4 barely. The pressure, though, is a little on the high end for a Category 4. It's just how the models, I guess, extrapolate this. And it's almost like a nowcasting scenario. We are going to have to nowcast this. We're not going to be able to, like, predict more than, like, 10 hours out. But there is very deep convection right here. Very explosive. Look to the Euro. Yeah, I saw the Euro model. I did see the Euro model, Adam. I mean, see, the Euro is very, very, very conservative. I mean, a 982 millibar system. Now, that is possible. That is still. But, I mean, it's very, very hard to say exactly how strong this is going to get. But it's going to be a major hurricane in one sense of things. This is Radar Omega. Radar Omega is what I'm using. Yeah, we got more deep convection right here exploding. Yeah, this is Radar Omega. It's a really cool map. Really good. Oh, this is a medium chance already. 40 to 50% chance. Oh, boy. So we have another system that may try to develop later on. You know what? That might be the eye. Or maybe not. It's trying to do something. Oh, we're going to keep an eye on this, though. See what the recon gets. The Euro's not very... Pressure's not much lower. It's below 1,000 millibars. But we'll see with what they find. This could... 996.5 is the current pressure reading from the latest data. Yes, Recon is in the storm right now. And their latest pressure reading was 996.5. Yeah, 996. We'll see if that drops down into the 980s. Yeah, I know, Adam Patterson. I am aware of that. Again, we will see. Okay, Adam, it's about how this plays off. I understand where you're coming from, but the European model, I mean, what if this gets down to 930 or 940 millibars, see? Then the European model is a little off. This is a tough forecast. I mean, this is not easy on the models. Okay, yeah, this peaks at 932, and then it weakens. So it's going to begin weakening from here on out at 72 hours. So it's literally got about 3-ish days to intensify before weakening starts to occur. Thank you so much, Adam. Yeah, I am aware that the European model is one of the most accurate models out there. And we'll see at the end of the day with what it shows. But I mean, look at 06Z has 998 millibar pressure. I mean, this is the 18Z run. 998. And we got the Recon aircraft that found 996.5. So evidently, it's a little stronger than the European model right now. Which affects on the next model run. Maybe it's stronger. Is this reflecting the GFS? No, this is the European model. The GFS has got done rendering. Yeah, it's fully done rendering. Let's see with what it shows in the long range really quickly. Okay, yeah, there's nothing out there after this system. This will be the last system that makes landfall for right now. Thank gosh for once. I think everyone should is probably tired of hurricane season almost. Oh, we got more deep convection. Still trying to fire up. You can go to tropicaltidbits.com if you want to view the European, or you can go to Pivotal Weather. Yeah, this is starting to get more deeper. The eye is forming. That's not the eye, though. The center is somewhere over here, because you can tell by the deep convection masses. This is where the center is, I believe. Somewhere right in here. Let's get the center plane. Let's get the center. Because if this was the eye, look at what the wind... I mean, the winds are still coming out of the east pretty good. You're very welcome. That's not the eye, Trenton begs. No, it's not. People think it is the eye, but it's not. I mean, that's a false eye. You can call it the eye if you want, but it's a false eye. Because, see, that just formed. See, that just... That's not the eye at all. Trust me, if there's an eye on this, it's going to be a Category 3 hurricane or a Category 2. And it's not anything strong. It's strong, but it's not a Category 3 strong. Should get a new update here really soon. Exactly, Adam Patterson. You are right. Look for the deepest convection, and it persists, and then you get that eye that forms. What time will it hit Florida? So on the latest H-Wharf, I'm estimating by Thursday night or Friday, or well, actually probably by Friday morning. That's when I think it's going to hit Florida, Caden. But again, if the track goes further east, then the landfall is going to be a lot sooner. No, this is not going to be... We don't know, yeah, exactly if this is a Cat 1. We don't know. It's got to pop out the other side. Come on, Recon. We should get a new update here really soon, in about a couple of minutes. But look at these winds. They are actually diverging and converging. There is some strong wind that could be shuffling down. 957 millibars. Yeah, I see 957 on the H-Mon, yeah. Oh my goodness. It hasn't gone any deeper. It's not any deeper than it was. 987 millibars. 987. It's about as deep as it was earlier. It is not any deeper. It's not any stronger. So it may have stopped intensifying. It still has winds at 55 knots though. So the system has not further intensified based on the latest recon mission. It's not intensifying anymore as of right now. Which surprisingly is right where the satellite intensity estimates are. About 45-ish knots almost. So now that we got that first pass, let's see where we're at. Yeah, this is supposed to be 978 millibars. So, yep, H-Wharf may be correct. The H-Wharf may be winning on this. So probably, that's probably why, that's why I'm not going Category 4 yet. So based on the latest data, my intensity forecast remains at 115 miles an hour over the next 4 to 5 days. I am not bringing this up anymore. Low and major hurricane is forecasted. Yeah, this is not going to... I don't know. This is really... It looked very promising earlier, but then it just stopped. But that's what we have so far on the recon. Yeah, this storm is very weird indeed. I agree. I do agree. It is really weird. Yeah, even the drop zone not far out from the center only recorded up to 41 mile an hour winds. So I am not confident about putting this to a category 4. The pressure, I mean, we would have already seen a huge pressure drop with this system, like 970, 975. But it has not dropped any further. So the HMON may be one of the losers here. Not saying it's a bad model, but I mean, looked like it was gonna do something. But again, my intensity forecast is based on the latest recon as well as the 2 HMON models based on the initial conditions, including the GFS model. What stopped it from intensifying? It could be that moat. It could be that dry air that got sucked into the system. You can see it right here. See this band future, everybody? Right here. Actually, you know what? Let me get my other satellite imagery out. So if we go back, probably right about here, there was a gap right here that developed, and that's some of the dry air that probably got infiltrated into the system and stopped the thing from intensifying. It could be that. So are the Noaa models pretty accurate, or am I just being... The Noaa models are accurate. I'm not saying they're inaccurate. But the fact that what we found with the pressure data is really important. I mean, the extrapolated pressure is 987 millibars. I mean, that's as low as the plane gets. The plane only found that pressure. However, winds are stronger on this side, and it is to be announced if they find winds even stronger, like 60 knots. That is still a possibility. But you know what? That is where the center actually is, you guys. I think you're right. Right there's where the center is. Yeah, that is the center. You're right, all. That is the eye. That's where the eye is. If this already has an eye, then they're going to have to find hurricane force winds on the other side, on this side of the system. So for once, I'll give you all a clap. Look at this. This stalls out. Oh my goodness. This is literally stalling out on the H-wharf. Really moving it slowly. Oh yeah, this is really bad. This thing stalls out. Where it stalls is really going to be a concern, because if that stalls in the wrong spot, then we could have serious issues. Because that's where the recon mission found. They found the lowest pressure right where the that eye is trying to pop out. Should I prepare on the East Coast? Where on the East Coast do you live? Someone is saying 97 knots. Where are you seeing 97 knots? Where are you seeing 97 knot winds, David S? You're on Florida. Oh, East Coast Florida. Right now, looking at the latest GFS, at this moment, it should miss your area of Eastern Florida. With the heavy rainfall, you're not going to avoid that. You're going to get some intense heavy rain bands, maybe some breezy winds, but you're better off in Eastern Florida than you are, say, in Western Florida, like the West Coast. Okay, the H-Wharf, okay. That's what you meant? We should get a new update here very soon. 1 or 2 more minutes, we should get new recon data. And then I think I'm going to head off at 11 o'clock. Because I need to get some sleep because I'm getting up at like 5 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning to make a video for you all. Yes, gotta keep you all updated. It's my job. And then, for the people that are watching this live stream still, I have 400 people. That's awesome. For the 400 people that are watching, I will be live streaming on the, I'm literally flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are going to take into the skies into Hurricane Ian. If it becomes a hurricane tomorrow, will depend on how strong it actually is. At this point, that's probably where we're headed into. If it's stronger for tomorrow, then we're going to fly into the system. If not, we're going to probably fly into the system Wednesday afternoon or evening. Thank you for subscribing. Nothing to lose. You're awesome. Jesus Christ saves. Amen. He does save. So again, we are going to take the skies. It's going to be a lot of fun. Realistic weather, realistic mission that we're going to be performing on Microsoft Flight Simulator either tomorrow or on... Not on Tuesday because it's going to hit Cuba. Can't do that. Can't fly over land. So it'll have to be Wednesday. Wednesday evening because I'm really busy most of the day on Wednesday. You're very welcome, Chair Duke. I do appreciate it. Okay, got new update? Nope. Not yet. Should come out in a minute. Still hanging at 43 knots. Oh my gosh. Another... Oh, yep, this is breathing out again. This is more deep convection. More deep convection on this. That eye is about to disappear, actually. Yep, more explosiveness to the thunderstorms. Oh, a new mission. Another mission going into Ian is getting underway as well. Another mission. That's a Noaa mission. Probably an upper level drop zone mission, I'm guessing. Is that another? Hold on a second. That might be another upper level drop zone mission for the 06Z model output. I bet you it is. It's not being indicated here on Google Earth yet, but I'm assuming it's an upper level drop zone mission. Oh, come on. I need new recon data. Why in the heck it hasn't updated? It's been almost 20 minutes. I need new data. Don't tell me they lost service or lost signal. See, this is what I do, folks. This is what I do when I'm not streaming. I'm OCD over this stuff right now. I'm just hyper-focusing. I'm monitoring a lot of stuff going on. Current satellite, at the same time, recon data, ADT, and everything. No new information from the NHC yet, other than we do have hurricane warnings that are issued. There's your NHC forecast. If you're wondering, major hurricane category 3 or greater when it passes Cuba, and then getting towards that major hurricane status, nearing the Key West area. Very interesting. They do not have hurricane watches out yet, or anything like that, despite this becoming a major hurricane or a category 4 near there. Is a category 5 possible? Not at this moment. Nope, I do not see a category 5. You might get it from other channels. Maybe some other channels might say, hey, this could become a category 5. I would really be careful, because you're literally sliding on thin ice of weather information that may not be very good in a way. That's why I'm keeping this conservative for right now. Until, one, the deep convection can be persistent. This is really not moving very much. Looks like it's just sitting there. Yeah, this is almost sitting. This is barely moving. This thing is just sitting. What in the heck? Why is it sitting like that? This is crazy. It's just sitting here. It's barely moving. Oh my gosh, this system. I cannot stand watching this system. It is absolutely just mind-boggling. Have a mind of its own. It doesn't care. That's a false eye. I mean, that is... I like how Recon has not updated. I like how they have not updated their map. So I'm going to another website, and I'm going to see with what we have here. So it's going to be the latest Air Force mission. Probably, yeah. It's going to be this. Yeah, look, this hasn't even updated. Oh. I'm laughing at Recon. I bet you all are laughing at Recon data. I like how the plane does not update. I mean, it stops updating. That's amazing. It's just, you don't get any more data. You got to get the latest data. It's important. Satellite imagery went out too. Yeah, satellite imagery went out. So I wonder if everything went out again. I bet you everything did. Oh no, it's updating on here. I think Tropical Tidbits is having issues, or some service is going out. So I am not getting any. I mean, wow. We'll see how this all pans out, but it's very, I might as well, I'm not going to sleep, but I might as well just sleep and just wake up tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning and be like, okay, it's a lot more impressive. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit here and wait. I'm staring at you, Recon. Update. I have a reason to be frustrated because Recon has not updated in almost 30 minutes. Yeah, in 30 minutes. It's been almost 30 minutes. Hasn't even updated. You know what? What we're going to do, I want you guys to send your estimates of wind speeds on this storm. How strong do you think the Recon found winds at? Let me know in knots. You guys could be the Recon data. How about that? Let's have a little bit of fun, right? You all in the chat are Recon planes, your Recon missions. That's where Recon is. Well, actually, we can turn up on flight radar. If flight radar doesn't show them, then their service is out. They're having issues. Yep. They're not even on here. They're not even on the map. Nope. They're not even on the map. So they lost service. Service is lost. 70 knots, 60 knots, 60 knots, 62. Ooh, okay. 60 knots. 1 quadrillion, 71 knots, 72 knots. No, not 300,000 knots. Oh, no, wait, not 3,000 knots. Trenton, no. 55, 60 to 65, 80 knots. Wow, you're a little high on the wind speed there, Vision. What's up, Weather Kid 6? 60 knots. So, looks like an average of about 60 knots, you predict. We'll see if the Recon update can... I'm refreshing it, and it's not updating. Oh, this is fun. This happened the other night. It was with Fiona. Yeah, it was when one of the missions went into Fiona. It went out for like an hour and a half. It better not be doing that again where it does not update for an hour and a half. Because I'll sit here and live stream until I get new data. I don't care. I'm just sitting here. I'm just going to wait for new data to come out. I'll tell you right now, it does not look like it's going to be 60 knots. Or if it is, it's barely 60 knots. Right now it's in the Cayman Islands. Well, I would say the outer band is. The outer band, boy, this is very intense thunder activity here. In Georgetown, West Bay, and Grand Cayman, North Side, East End, really getting some intense banding going through the area. You can see it right there. There's Grand Cayman on the map. Really strong thunderstorm activity. You might even see water spouts with that. This is a very, very, very awkward, innocuous looking system. I've never seen anything this strange at all. First, it looked like, maybe it's going to try to intensify, and then Nothing. Check Twitter. Let me check Twitter then. See what I got on Twitter from anyone. Did not get anything from Twitter. Thank you, Tom Fowley, for following me. By the way, if you guys want to follow me, though, this is my Twitter. I do updates on the tropics. So if you all are wondering what it is, it's Weather United 1. At Weather United 1. You can follow, find me there. Did it update? You know what this is? You know what this is, you all? This means I'm furious. They literally missed that gap where the strongest winds could be. Oh, I love it. They did not miss half of it. The data went out. There's a gap right here. There's no data. I wonder if they're back on flight radar. I'm very curious. I bet you they are back on flight radar. Yes, they are. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? They're back on flight radar now. They lost it twice. So, that's... But assuming that the center is here... Wait. So the center would be right over here. That's not far from the Cayman Island. It should be rapidly intensifying, though. Oh, they're going back. They're going back in it again. Or wait, no, hold on. Oh, no, they're going straight. Or are they turning? This is cool. Check NHC. Oh, did they update it? 70. I could sort of agree on that. What's the pressure? I need to check the pressure on that. We were here for 2 advisories. Can't believe it. 988 millibars. Okay, that's only a millibar drop in pressure. Ian expected to rapidly intensify today. Expected to produce significant wind and storm surge impacts. I thought it is rapidly intensifying already. Considerably speaking, it is nearing a hurricane. Yeah. I don't know. Where is the Cayman Islands on this map? Jeez. Okay, so it's over there. Okay, 45 knot winds, pressure down to 996. Wow, that raw T data is higher. Whoo, boy. Ah, look at what it's showing. This could actually be a hurricane. Doverick technique picking up an eye already. Doverick technique picking up on an eye. Isn't that something else? Wow. Yeah, look at that. That made a huge wind speed increase. Yeah, that's an eye. That's crazy. Oh, got recon. Oh, they got drops on 63 miles an hour. 989, that is lower from the last mission conducted. Yeah, that is. That's down by 3 millibars. So it has intensified a little bit more. Evidently. Oh, they're going back in. You know what? They lost the data. I bet you that's why they're going back in again for it. They're going back in. They're going to get that wind maximum. Because maybe they did find something, and maybe they are trying to see if there is hurricane force winds. And you know what? There is deep convection right here. Oh my gosh, I have so many messages on Discord. I absolutely love that. So, yeah, this convection's weakening. But they are going back in there again. They are going back in that system again. And I'm going to wait before I end this stream of what they find. What they find. Because it should update here. 48. Yep, should update here in just a second. Yep, they just did. They just updated it. Whoa, they're far way over there. Oh, you know why? Because they lost data and then they looped around. Okay. Oh, they did. Okay, there it is. Wind speed maximum. Okay, we got a wind speed maximum. Whoa. Flight level winds over 60 knots. So someone said 62 knots. That was the correct answer. Whoever said 62 knots is correct. That would be Trenton. Trenton got it correct. Who else got it correct? Let's see. Yeah, only Trenton. Trenton got it correct. No one, everyone said about 60 knots. So, yeah, 62 knots was the final. We'll see with what they get on this other end. No prize this time. I'm sorry. You said 60 knots, but the final the data that came in 62 knots. So you were 2 knots under. There's the wind speed maximum. So this does have certainly a contracted or a constricted wind field. I'm wondering if this is one of the hardest systems. Models can't even pick this up very well. Yeah, another mission is going on. It's probably an upper level drop zone, I'm guessing. I bet you it's an upper level drop zone. Yup, it is. I knew it. I can smell it and I can sniff it. It's another upper level drop zone. So that's going to be fed into the 06Z model runs. They're doing this very significantly. Actually, you know what? No, this is going to be fed into the 0Z or the 12Z runs. My bad. Sorry. David, go look out on the SPC. What now on the SPC? Slight risk. Okay, severe weather got interrupted here. Oh, yeah, for the hurricane, yeah. Okay. Tornadoes, oh boy. Yeah, there's a tornado threat. That's why I'm going live on that. It's probably going to be... Oh, this is Tuesday. Oh, this is Tuesday and a Wednesday. Why so soon? Oh, you know why? Because of all this deep convection right along that boundary. I see. That's why they're putting a slight risk out. It's not really that bad. Come on. How do I find the plane on flight radar? It should look like a little... It should look like this. I mean, if I click away from it, it should look like that, and it will have a label, Teal 71. So the center is probably right here, I'm guessing then. Yeah, that's probably where it's going to be. Because then they flew out of here. They flew out in this general direction. Then they looped around, and then they're coming back in again. So this is probably where the center might be. That's where their plane is flying into. There is not much deep convection anymore over the center. Man, this thing is just sleeping. It's just sleeping away. It's not, doesn't care. I'm surprised. Did they find the eye? Well, of course they found the eye. It's just not, it's kind of cloud filled. The center is there. It's stationary. That is really strange if it's stationary. That means it's stalled. So something is really oddly going on with this system. Because if it's slowed down substantially... I mean, this was really going to blow up all of a sudden. And then boom. Still hasn't gone up on the raw T numbers yet on the ADT. Just one more pass, Recon, then I'll leave you alone for tonight, I promise. Just need one more pass from you. Because I am tired. I'm not joking, folks. I'm exhausted. Because I got up early this morning. I got up at like 5 o'clock to do a video for you all. And so, how much has it slowed down? I don't know yet. We'll wait for that next pass. That's why I'm waiting for the plane to fly in. It's about the fix to fix kind of thing. How much has it, the center moved? We should get a new update here in about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. David, Tornado Watch is likely Tuesday. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting tired to elevator tours by main raves. I need you all to sleep, actually. I'm sorry to keep you all up late. This did not intend of going a 3-hour stream. But it's probably going to go about that until this plane flies in. Probably another 20 minutes or so. Because it updates every 10. How can you tell? By marking the center. By where the center is here at 989, and then when it comes back around again, and it finds a new center, you can connect the dots. You know when you do connect the dots and make a picture, that's kind of like what it is. You're very welcome, John D. Villians. I do appreciate it, bud. Yeah, if you all are new and you absolutely love the content, this style, this conservative amount of weather detail. It's an honor that you're here. It really is. I do appreciate it. I mean, we have almost 500 people. Oh no, we do have 500 people watching this stream. So it's an honor that you all are here just participating. I'm being very conservative though. The final intensity forecast on my end is 115 miles an hour. 115, I am keeping it conservative. I am not going any higher. I'm not reaching for the sky. So, if y'all are wondering, this is my intensity forecast. So, like this, like this. That's my forecast. That black line is my intensity forecast. Take a good look at that. Actually, if you all want to even screenshot this for references, I'm fine with it. There it is. The Weather United. Actually, I'm going to put it down. Actually, let's do that. There we go. So it fits nicely. There we go. So that's my intensity, the black line. See how accurate I really remain. This could change though. By tomorrow morning, this might go up a little bit. But I am staying on the low end. I really am. I'm not going hyper wiper on this. Just because this thing has played so many games over the last 24 hours. Ain't funny. Little burst of convection again. Oh my gosh, that is a huge explosion of convection. That doesn't... Oh, there's another area of deep convection too, right here. Another area of deep convection that is popping off right here. Another area. So we've got two areas of deep convection. False eye. That's not the eye. It is an eye based on the advanced over technique, but it is a false eye. Because this center might be right over here. May just be over here. Oh my goodness, that is really blowing up. Thank you so much. I am glad my info was very helpful, folks. This is what I do. This is what I do. I mean, if I don't stream, I'm staring and I'm like glued to the dang screen here. This is my job almost, literally. My job is to keep you all safe, but at the same time, my job is to also keep an eye on what the system is doing and its behavior. I mean, this system is so concerning to me and also to a lot of you that my party today didn't go very well. I was like on my phone like this. I was on my phone like this for most of the day. I was like, it's what recon shows. And I was just staring at my phone the whole time like this. And I'm like, my friends were telling me, why are you on your phone all the time? I'm like, oh, I'm watching a tropical storm. I've got to watch this. I got to look at the latest models. Convection meaning heat being moved. Yeah, it's well, in other words, you can say convection or hot towers. Hot towers, convection are the same thing, but it's heat transport. Heat being excavated out of the water. Oh, here's a new hot tower blowing up right here. So we'll see with how this all down here happens. Oh, this thing is blowing up. My goodness. Really blowing up. It was one of my friends' birthday today. It was not my birthday. My birthday is not until November, but it was my friend's birthday. Yeah, this is very deep. Very deep. Now, the question is, can it persist? Can it persist? Is the question. That's the hard thing. Thank you for tuning in, Elevator Main Raves. We did get a new update on the recon. Where are we standing? Okay, so it hasn't. Wind field may have expanded out a little bit. Or if this shifted even towards, if this is moving to the northeast, I can't believe it. But I doubt it. I so doubt it. Plane is well to the north, though. What's the updated I can't even speak. What's the updated trajectory? It's still going to get dangerously close to Florida. That's what we know for sure right now. It is going to get, well, dangerously close depending on what model you use. If we look at the H-Wharf model, it's going to be safely away from Florida, but again, do not cancel your plans. I repeat, do not cancel your preparation plans. Keep those in store, please, because this could go back east. All the models, this can jog further east again, and it could hit your area. So do not sign this out like, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm going to ignore this. No, do not. I repeat. Because then I'm not doing my job. And if I'm not doing my job, then we have a problem. So keep your plans in place. That's all I ask. Because right now, you do have tropical storm force winds in green here impacting the Florida coast. Even on the H-Wharf, you do have hurricane force winds impacting your area. Or not hurricane force, tropical storm force winds, excuse me there, impacting the area. Maybe hurricane force winds depending on how close this gets. The plane is gone again. Oh, gosh. Hopefully it does not lead to issues loading this again. Do you have a track for Ian? Yes, I do. Well, the track is pretty certain, but my track forecast... Oops, ooh, that's too big. So my track forecast for Ian... See, the thing is, this thing is moving so dang slow, it doesn't have a mind of its own. Or has a mind of its own. I don't first know. I need to see where the latest recon flight goes first. Then I'll make my trajectory projections. Because this could be wobbling. This could be going like... It could just be... Yeah, it could be going like this. You know, it's not very smooth and consistent. So it looks like the center is somewhere over here, though. Not where that eye is. It seems like somewhere over here is where something may be trying to come together. It could also be that the mid-level circulation could not be aligned as much anymore. Maybe the system stalled out because of that. Maybe that mid-level vortex. Because it could be over here, not over there by the eye. Because this is where the deepest convection is. It's already fall. Oh yeah, it's fall, yeah. Happy fall. Happy autumn, folks. I'm excited for winter. Can't wait. Goodbye, deadly heat. Goodbye, heat waves. See you next year. Okay, the teal mission is back on flight radar. Okay, now they're flying out on the northern side. Okay, that's what they're going to do. They're going to fly out this way. So, should get a new update. 2 more minutes. We should get a new update in 2 minutes. Does slowing or stall change the track? In this case, probably not. What it might, well, it can actually, because whatever goes on to the north, let me explain this carefully for people that are watching. So we take a look here at the steering flow. I'm looking at the GFS because the European model is currently rendering. We'll look at that in a little bit. If this thing stalls out, now I don't know if it is. Please don't quote me on that because I don't know yet. We have to get a new drop zond in the eye to see if it is in the same spot to make that judgment. Okay, but if it's slowed down significantly, everything to the north here is moving. This doesn't stop. This trough is in place here on the GFS model. It's been well modeled right now. Okay. And so going forward, this trough, you can even see it right here. It begins to slowly move out of the area, slowly lift out as this thing comes in. So the problem here is if this trough moves out faster than, say, Ian comes on shore because it's running behind schedule a little bit, this could stall out a little sooner, probably even further back, and then eventually, where could it move from there? We just don't know. But more than likely, it'll get sheared apart because we got this westerly flow here in the upper levels at 200 millibars. By the way, you'll see this on tomorrow's video more than likely. Probably not, depends what I want to do, but this is showing you all different perimeters. The vorticity perimeter in the colors. So we got orange, yellow, we got purple colors, white colors here indicating the vorticity. Okay, so I'm going to draw an arrow here for you all so you all understand. Then, of course, you got your geopotential heights right in here. This is basically a topographical map of the atmosphere. So when you get higher heights, this is geometric. Wait, no, this is decameters. This is decameters in the unit of measurement. Like hectopascals is a type of air pressure used at the surface. Millibars, inches in mercury. So this is decameters in terms of the 500 millibar height map or a topographical. So this gives us an idea where the mid-level ridge is in response to where our upper level flow is in the atmosphere. So this gauges on the forecast model to forecast where this could actually go based on the upper level steering flow, because everything changes, right? Weather moves constantly. It's never it's never static. When you make something in motion, it stays in motion. So that's what we have. We got this trough that is over here, well modeled. It's about the timing. If this system stalls or slows down just a few miles an hour slower, this trough moves out, and this could slow down substantially much further south than what it's worth. Now, is that going to happen? Doesn't look like it, but there is a slowdown here on the GFS model. If we look back at a few days ago, back on Friday the 23rd of September, we had a much different forecast on the GFS because of how this ridge was placed. So if we look back at the latest, you know, the system is stronger and that trough lifts out. Now, if this trough was a little deeper and a little further west, this would likely get captured and move out like that. But since this trough to the north is in the wrong spot, like the trough axis is literally right there, the system is really going to stall or slow down substantially. More likely slow down than stall. okay, which brings a lot of impacts here for the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Either way, this is going to slow down substantially, if not maybe stall, maybe for a couple of hours, okay? That's where we may be headed in this forecast, okay? But again, this is not a certain forecast. This does not mean it's going to happen, but that's why a forecast is called a forecast and not the actual situation, okay? So hopefully that helped you all out a lot. Now I gave you guys data, some weather data to ingest or to digest. Okay, we are down at 985. 980. Oh, no. We're down at 984. Putting it in the chat. 984.9. 984.9 with hurricane force winds. This has intensified. This has strengthened. 985 on the second pass. 989, not 985, 984. Dag nabbit. See, I am tired. Tired. Laugh at me, folks. I'm tired. So yeah, we're at 985. Now, it doesn't show it here. We're not 985. 984.9. Okay? It's not on here, but extrapolating some of the data that might have been missed on the exact center. So it might be down to 984.9. That is down from before. Wow, that is down a lot. That is solid. That is a solid hurricane force wind maximum. Especially, it's a lot larger too. A lot larger. Oh, I just don't see where the hurricane force winds could be. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. It does not look like that little swirly thing that you want to see. It doesn't look like it's swirling violently. All this recon data. So the center is there. So the center is right here exactly. Okay, this mid-level circulation is not aligned. It is not vertically aligned. That's why the thing is not intensifying absolutely quickly. Because it's not aligned. There might be shear on this. Which leads me to the next tab. Sorry for the yelling, folks. I'm terribly sorry. I don't intend to yell. But I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, even, look at that. ASCAT finds it really well. It's 40 knot winds, perhaps. Systems. Oh, that looks so organized, but it doesn't, because it does not match. The thing does not rotate around that eye really properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a shear map. See, shear is so light, and the center is right there, so how is it not aligning itself? I don't get it. I don't get it. Man, that shear over Florida, gosh, that's 40 knots. So again, what you're looking at, everyone, is the vertical wind shear profile. Areas in green are light shear, that's favorable. So that's where this is perfect right here. Perfectly favorable. Everything around it is unfavorable. So I do not know why this thing is... This is very awkward. I've not seen a tropical storm like this where it's so funny looking. SATCON has this at 47 knots. That's pretty likely. There's no dry air, so I don't know where the dry air is coming from. There's one lightning strike in the center. Let me see the shear estimate Yeah, it's 5 knots. There it is, 5 knot shear coming in out of the south. So there is no shear, and it's very favorable. Yeah, it's very favorable for the next 24 hours. That is crazy. It is... Yeah, everything down here does scream rapid intensification. I don't see why this can stop rapidly intensifying, or if it even has begun at all. One last thing is the good old microwave. Look at how many tabs I have open on my computer. This is breaking history. You know what? Aha. That inner core is not closing off. Look at this, folks. 7:45 UTC time. That's as of... That's recently. This inner core is not closing. This inner core is not closing at all. It's failing. Something's preventing it from closing off. You can see it right here. I'll show you all the euro in just a second. I promise. But this is not closing. It's all... It's curved. It's so curved. This is why it's not... It's doing funny stuff on us. It's acting funny. It's not acting appropriate. It's not acting like what it should be. Because that is... I mean, this could be the center right there where the deepest convection is. That's what Recon found. That can dissipate right away, though. However, that could reclose, or even never reclose at all. I mean, that thing looks... It's not about to close. I don't know where you see where it's about to close on the microwave imagery. All right, let me look at the Euro model because you all have been patient. I am so sorry. So sorry. So let me see the Euro. Oh, 18Z. Why am I not getting the Euro model? Okay, you know what? I need to use Weatherbell because it's the free version of Tropical Tidbits doesn't allow you to get the European model right when it's rendering, and so it's rendering only for Weatherbell or for paid subscription people. Actually, you know what? Let me actually use Pivotal Weather since a lot of you know Pivotal Weather quite a bit. Sorry for the confrontation earlier, folks. I'm sorry to kind of lose it a little bit, but that's part of forecasting. That's how I forecast. It does not make sense. Okay. Is this... Okay, this is the latest run. It's weaker. It is weaker. Yup. It is weaker. 18Z run. Yeah, by a lot. That's a lot weaker. Wow, if the European model has been this consistent and not showing any substantial strengthening. But you know what? The last complete model run had it at 971 also. So it's to argue that system is not any stronger. Look, it stalls out. Look at that. I cannot believe that thing stalls out on the European model, by the way. That is a goofy run. I am not liking the European model. See, it could go that way, though. If this does not... It did deepen, though. The recon mission did find that it did deepen a little bit more now. Oh. Well, if all the models are still showing this at a major hurricane, I guess it's going to be a major hurricane. Something's trying to form here. Right in here. And it matches with what the microwave imagery showed. With that horseshoe look. So this might be where the center is trying to consolidate somewhere rather. Under that deep convection cloud mass. But it's... I don't know. See, they found darn right hurricane force winds. I cannot believe this is a hurricane with it being... See, you guys, I'm probably working myself up over this. It looks like a hurricane, but it does not look like a hurricane. We're not seeing this going on. We're not seeing the clouds spin around a common center. I mean, it's slowly, but it does not look... does not look like a hurricane. It just does not in satellite imagery. Did it do an east... Did it make an easterly turn? No, it's still moving northwest. Still moving northwest. Yeah. It's right here. That's where it is. That's where it's moving. It's still moving northwest. So that could actually bring it really closer to Grand Cayman. That is solid, though. There's 2 passes to prove hurricane force winds on that. Will Carrot, it's developing more and more, but I mean, okay, you guys, I don't... Look at satellite and let me know. It definitely is a tropical storm. It definitely is, but... Okay, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed because... Or else, I'm not gonna sleep. I'm not going to sleep. But I'm sorry, Will Carrot. If I sound like I do, I'm sorry. Any questions, anybody? Any questions? I love you guys. I appreciate you all here very late at night. But you know what? I'm going to trust the recon data, and I'm going to say it's a hurricane based on the recon data. But the SFMR winds do not prove a hurricane yet. It's almost about 60 knots-ish. Flight level winds are near 75 knots, though. So that should mix down to the surface if there's deep convection that can develop. Thank you. Any questions? Arguably enough, it could be a hurricane. It's 70, 75 right there. It's in the ballpark. It has intensified, though. 1, 2, 3 passes. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Is it impacting the Cayman Islands? Yes, it is. Grand Cayman's getting hit right now with very strong wind, some strong winds, very intense thunderstorm activity. This band is very strong. Thank you so much, Aiden. I do appreciate it. And if you all are new to the Weather United and you like the content, I will have a morning upload. Do not miss it. I will have a morning upload. hopefully out between 6:45 and 8:45 in the morning, between that ballpark. And then, of course, I will have an upload tomorrow afternoon. If I go live, I don't know how that's going to work off. I'm going to probably be living on YouTube tomorrow, depending on if this thing could make a mind of its own. Maybe I'll just wait until Wednesday evening to do a recon mission to fly into the storm. Depending on how I see this tomorrow morning when I wake up. If it's strong, if it looks very juicy, very promising, maybe I'll do it in the evening hours or something, like at this time, and do a recon mission. I'm in the Pacific time zone. So if if I get the video out by 7 in the morning, it will be 10 in the morning Eastern time. If I get the video out at 6 in the morning, it will be 9 in the morning Eastern time. I'm on the West Coast, so yeah. What's up, Pico? How are you doing? Thank you. You're very welcome. Dingleberry. Okay. You're very welcome. I do appreciate it. We'll see how this looks tomorrow, or tomorrow my time. Well, in 40 minutes it will be today, which is what I'll be uploading quite a bit on YouTube. But yeah, you could follow me on Twitter, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter. All right, but I think that is going to close it off for tonight. I would love to stay on, but I'm tired. I need to get up in about 5 hours to start making my next video for the tropical system and everything like that. And then, again, a slim chance we go live on the recon sometime during the noon hour. During the day and then the evening, probably make another video on Tropical Storm / Hurricane Ian, if it's a hurricane by tomorrow morning. All right, I love you guys. I care about you all. And yeah, I think I'm going to head off. Got to get some shut-eye, because if not, I will be a zombie tomorrow for you all. All right, I don't want to be a zombie. No one wants me to be a zombie. I love you guys. Share, like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter for more information on this tropical storm / hurricane. Love you guys.